Okay, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. First, I want to shout out our sponsors. First up, we have Defend Hawaii. They have a store, Winter Mall, called No One. Go check them out. They have some new stuff for summer, back to school. They also have a Lions Den drop for the UH football team defense. Shout out to Chris Brown. Go check them out, defendhawaii.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout. You'll get 15% off your order. Next, we have IREP Detail Supply. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center as well as in Las Vegas. Anything you need to clean, detail your car, truck, van, go check them out. irepdetailsupply.com, promo code ATBpod upon checkout. You'll also get 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have Hawaii Candy Factory. They're full of local delicious snacks. I always say my favorite is the peach gummies with the lemon peel on it, but they have a whole bunch of different kind of packaging, cute little noms. They're called noms, so go check them out. Hawaii Candy Factory, promo code ATBpod upon checkout, and you'll receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Last, we have our medicinal mushroom company. It's Hawaii Medicinal Mushroom Hawaii. Actually, it's Medicinal Mushroom Hawaii. And if you go to their website, medmushroomhigh.com, they have these 4 different tinctures of extracted mushrooms. And each mushroom that has a medicinal property for it. Go check out their website. It'll explain to you. It's chaga, turkey tail, lion's mane, as well as the red reishi. All these have different medicinal properties. I know the red reishi I take at night. It helps me sleep like a champ. The rest of them I take in the morning. Helps me have a great day. I actually take the lion's mane right before I record to help me think and speak a little more clearly. So go check them out, medmushroomhigh.com. You use promo code ATBpod upon checkout, all capitals, and you'll receive 45% off your first tincture of whatever mushroom you want. Go check them out. Aloha. Okay, this week I'm super excited because this is one of my favorite people on earth.
That's a really good intro already. It didn't even start, but I like
it. So I'm bringing back Becky Mits. I have so much to talk to her about, and she's on the radio. Your friend Becky Mits, everybody knows her. And since our last podcast, I got a little bit more close with her. She's been to my house a few times for barbecues and to watch me get destroyed at the Super Bowl. And yeah.
Understandable. It was tough. It was a tough loss.
Fuck, that sucked. Like, I'm still not over it.
Well, from what I heard, how you've acted in the past, you were like relatively reserved. Like you were on your best behavior, from what I heard.
I was
like
drunk.
You were, oh. Is that why?
And I was like more sad than angry. I don't know. I had like all this emotion because I honestly thought they were gonna win to the last moment.
Yeah, everybody did.
Yeah, that was shitty.
Anyway, don't bring up bad memories. We've also hung out at District.
Yes, and it was fun times. That you can handle your alcohol.
That's to be debated.
Well, you didn't get sloppy or anything, at least. Like,
no,
guys,
I have enough self-awareness to know like when I might be getting a little too far that I'll try to slow down. Yeah,
that's smart.
I have enough, but I got pretty drunk, I would say.
I know you do the girl dance move, which is put your hands in front and like floss the nails. Yo, that's the one. That's how I know when girls are feeling it.
I can't really dance, so I'm like all upper body. I have no like lower body, so this is all I do in the club. Even though it's been a long time. Well, the last time I went to District, I think I told you this, when I walked in, I was taller than everybody. And I was like, I gotta go. I'm too big. And I was only like 5'8". I was like, oh my God, everybody is so small.
That's not good because I'm not 5'8".
But you're like there all the time, right? Like for me, I was just like, oh, this is out of my element. Like, oh, I just like it just the vibe was not right height wise.
Yeah, I can't help that out. Yeah, I guess because I'm there all the time, I look taller. I don't know.
Yeah. You look more comfortable, I think is what I'm trying to say. You look
Oh,
more
okay.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comfy.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my growth spurt. It's supposed to be on
days.
Thursday last week, but it didn't come yet. I've been still waiting.
I have one of my friends who's also on the smaller side. Shout out to Chris. He knows who he is. I remember he got so excited because he went to the doctor and he grew, I think, either an inch or half an inch, something like that. And he told everybody, and he was like, I swear, he was like, I swear, I went from 5'4" to 5'5". It was just there 1 inch. And he was like, not a teenager, so maybe it is possible for you. Maybe you'll grow at least an inch.
I don't know. I heard at work the older you get, the more compressed you get. So like,
yeah, that too.
I have this pillow thing where it's like a traction pillow where I lay on it and it pulls my head back so it stretches out my spine because I ain't trying to get compressed yet. I'm uncompressing. I cannot lose another half inch. You know what I mean? Like that would suck.
That sounds like a painful sleeping process.
It's actually comfortable. It gets blood flowing. Like I don't sleep on it. You just go for like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
So my brother and I are both taller than our parents. Like I'm 5'5", my brother's like give or take 5'7", and my dad, when we were children, used to bear hug us like this, and then kind of like droop us over like a single step, so our bodies would hang. And he said that was making us taller. I don't know if it's true or not. I just want you to know my brother and I are taller than my parents, so maybe it worked.
Oh,
he used to do that and droop us over the step. But I will tell you, my sister, who's older than my brother and I, is less than 5 feet. So you take that.
Oh,
she's small. Yeah, she's really small.
So she didn't get the droop then.
No, she didn't get the droop. Not like my brother and I did.
Oh, I should have been drooping Aria. I just took Aria to her doctor, and she was gonna bet me that she's 5 feet, and I'm like, you're not 5 feet, and she's, I'll bet you. And then she was 5'10" and 3/4. And she's like, what is
4'10" and 3/4? 4'10" and 3/4. Yeah.
So she missed it by 1 1/4 inch.
And but she still has time. She still has time to grow.
Yeah, I hope she's not gonna be tall, but she's hopefully hits 5 feet. She should try my pillow. Start decompressing now.
But she's a libero, right? And liberos are small.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be small, right?
Yeah, she's definitely closer to the ground than the hitters. Yeah.
So she's going to freshman year?
Yeah, she's gonna be a freshman. Yeah.
Is she gonna play JV or varsity?
She's gonna try out for vars. They actually started practice, but I kind of explained to her, like, if you make the varsity team, you're probably not gonna play as much as if you were on JV. But she says she wanted the reps during practice with varsity players, and she wants to get in with them early. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. They have a good team. Yeah.
Also, playing for varsity as a freshman is like a baller move. Like that's like a cool move as a freshman in high school to play for varsity. So, I mean, there's that too. In addition to, you get to play with the better players. So
yeah. But I think, we'll see what happens. I'm already preparing my speech for when she gets cut, but
don't say that.
Yeah, I know.
But it's good to be prepared. I mean, it's good to be prepared. My parents are lovely people, but aren't very good at comforting and emotional situations. They're very much like they're there. It'll be okay. Yeah,
I'm the opposite.
That you prepared. Good.
No, in a bad way. I'm be like, well, you see, you never make the team because you wasn't practicing on the side hard enough. So that's why I
Okay,
gotta
don't do that.
practice. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that. I have a classmate though that is very successful in his I should say athletic career to keep him anonymous, but he had a tough dad. He had a tough dad during high school that was like coaching him on the side, but he ended up being very successful. So maybe there is some truth to that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, my dad was like that too. I literally knocked somebody out at Blaisdell,
Oh,
and he was explaining to me the other things that I did wrong. And I'm like, Dad, like I won. Like, be happy. Like I did good. Like he said, oh, you should have done this when you did that. And I was like, okay. There's no making you happy or whatever. Like
so they just, I think maybe they just feel like they're making you better by doing that.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like he wants me to know that he knows more than me, or I'll never be as good as he was. I don't know.
During my basketball games, when ever I would be shooting a free throw and I would miss, which happened a lot because I was not very good at free throws. My dad, I could you hear my dad in the stand with, "What happened, Becky? What brick air ball?" And I was like, "Who's trolling me?" It was my dad in the stands.
He's
I'll
yelling
never forget
airball
that.
at you.
Oh yeah, if I hit an air ball, I would hear air ball, Becky. What happened, back every time? You got
That's
to keep
not
your
good.
kids. You got to keep your kids humble to a certain extent, I guess.
Yeah. I catch myself. I'm one of those very animated dads on the sideline. I'm watching my daughter play volleyball. I act as if I'm watching the Niners play football, just with a little less swearing because there's
Oh,
parents
good.
around.
Okay,
But
just a little
I
less.
don't sit. I'm running up and down, screaming, yelling. Like I gotta figure it out.
Does she
Like
ever tell you to like chill out? Does she ever say, "Dad, chill out"?
one time when we were in the mainland, like I had the Hawaiian flag and I'm like jumping up and then she was like she literally told me to stop. And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, too much.
Okay, the flag might be a little much. The flag might be a little much.
Yeah.
But that's good that you support her at the very
Yeah.
least. At the very least, you know. Um, but oh man, that's hilarious. But you're also just a very intense. Wait, I don't know if intense is the word I want to use. Passionate. You're a very passionate father. Like you like
Yeah.
want the best for her and protective of her.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that you would also be very passionate in the way that you cheer too. That makes sense. I didn't want to say
Yeah.
intense because I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's the right word.
Also, she's like me. She's a sore loser, and I'm a sore loser. And
Me too. I'm a sore loser
yeah,
too. When's your birthday? When's Arya's birthday?
mine is December 13th, and hers is June 28th.
So Gemini, is she a Gemini? I think.
I don't know.
Cancer? Well, cancers are very emotional people. And then are you a Sagittarius? Is December
Yeah.
13th Sagittarius?
Yep.
Yeah, they're fire
Definitely.
signs. I'm a fire sign. I'm an Aries, and fire signs tend to be like very passionate people.
Yeah.
Sagittarius is Leos and Aries, but if she's a Cancer, then she can be a very emotional person, which is okay. I'm a sore loser too. Like, okay, so by the time this comes out, we'll see what happens. But there was a contest that was happening where you would post about the iHeartRadio Music Festival, and my video, from my perspective, didn't do very well.
Oh,
And I
really? I seen it.
all day yesterday and today, I was like, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose. I was like, failure. I'm a flopperina. I flopped. And my mom was like, Becky, relax. I was like, I flopped. I failed. I'm a failure. I should never make another video again. She's like, no, but that's like, I'm also a sore loser too. Like if I don't win, like I like nothing else, I'm very competitive. It's
Yeah.
not my best trait.
Yep, mine either. And Arya is a mix between me and Taylor, DJ Hoppa Boy. And
Oh, really?
Taylor is a super sore loser. Like he'll like uh, And between me and him, like it gets crazy because we would play Madden, and this is when I was living in Eva. He'd bring his PlayStation over, and we'd play Madden, and I suck at video games, and he'd beat me 10 times, and then for some reason I beat him once. And I would just be like, nope, I'm not playing again. I'm the champ. You lost. When the champ loses, the guy who beat him is now the champ. And oh, he get all mad. He grab all his stuff and go home. Yeah, he's like, my daughter's like, between me and him, she's like that. Like she's
Yeah, you know,
very
I have luckily not been on the tail end of Taylor's emotional outburst, but I've heard. I will say I've heard about
yeah.
it. I've heard about it. Another passionate guy.
Yeah, and we would do our beer pong tournament at Rock Bottom every Tuesday, and oh, he would like he can talk shit. Like he can get to where people want to kill him. Like he can get under people's skin. He's just that guy. And
I heard about that. I heard he's gotten into fights over just like supporting the Eagles.
Oh yeah. Well, I got into fights for 49ers. Yo.
Oh my god.
Multiple times. Yo.
Oh my god. Yep. Is it
I gotta say, I
it?
never started though. I never started. I only react when somebody starts it to me first. And then I like you can't handle my shit once it starts. But I'll never start it first. I'll never make trouble to anybody. But if they make trouble to me, I go hard. So if they can't handle that, that's when we get into a fight.
But do you ever like tell yourself, like, for example, like when I start to feel myself getting worked up, do you ever tell yourself like, this isn't worth it? Especially now with social media, I'm like, I don't want to end up on 808 viral. I don't want to end up on so let me calm down because people will just like pull their phones out and record anything. Like, do you ever worry about that? I do.
I worry about that. No, I don't. I guess not. Oh. I think at the time, at the moment, I don't care. I'm not thinking.
You don't think about like, you're not thinking about it. You're just like seeing red. You're just upset, right?
Yes. I think I'm more worried about that walking out of district drunk, or one time I slipped and it was my shoes. Cause are you a sneakerhead or like?
I mean, a little, not really.
So I had this one pair of Jumpmans, and I hardly wore them because I keep them nice, but they're kind of older. And the bottoms, the rubber got hard.
Oh, doesn't it kind of like disintegrate after a while too?
But it was hard, so it was slippery. So I slipped outside a disher and ate shit in front of everybody. And that's when I was like, oh man, I hope nobody's seen that. Like, I hope nobody's and the first day I got up, and the security I was like, I'm not drunk. And they're like, can you drive? I'm like, yes, I can drive. Yeah. And I haven't worn those shoes, but they're perfect condition. Just is old, so the bottom got hard. I don't know.
I can see worrying about that too. Well, for me, like if something is going to be funny, like for example, I just like when I film videos or I film like stuff on camera, like I will embarrass myself for the sake of the joke. Like if it'll make people laugh, I'll do it. So me falling in front of district, if it made people laugh, I'm okay with it. Like it's not nearly like that's how much like I will dedicate myself to the joke. Like I'm like, did it make people laugh? You know what video made me think of that? Did you see the video that Valen had with I don't know who the two gentlemen were, but he was like oiling up these two gentlemen for a photo shoot.
I did see that. I wouldn't have done that.
That's what I'm saying is I'm like, not everyone would have done that. But Valen committed, and I thought it was so funny that he committed. Like the video is funny, but to me, the fact that he was like, okay, I will oil you up for the video was so funny. Oh, it was so funny. But that's the kind of commitment that I like in a joke. Anyway, I digress.
He's funny. He was telling me he has a cat, and he's telling me the affection way to tell your cat that you love it, him or her, is blow on the cat's asshole.
No, that can't be true. That can't be true.
It's my clip from when he was on my podcast. And I kept saying that is bullshit. That's not gonna happen. Like, imagine Arya come into my room and over there blowing on my cat's ass. Like how can I'm telling the cat I love it. Like, she shouldn't be traumatized. And her friends, she would tell her, "Oh yeah, my dad's in the room blowing Aka's asshole." I don't know. That's what he told me. You can watch the clip.
Oh
I'll
my
send it to
God.
you.
Yeah, send it to me. That cannot
Yeah.
be true. That is so funny. Just picturing that is so funny. Like, if I ever walked into a room and I saw that, I would be traumatized. Like, I would be, yeah, I don't think I would be okay. That
Yeah.
is so funny. That can't be true. I'm Googling that later. I have to know
And
the
then
truth.
after that, my cat's like walking by and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
I love you, but not that
Yeah.
much, but not that
Yeah.
much.
Good head scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's good enough. I didn't know that you had a cat. I didn't see the cat when I
It's
was there.
Sasha's. It's Sasha's.
Oh, got it, got
Yeah.
it.
It's it's so weird because that cat loves me the most. That cat will cuddle
Oh,
me, it'll come by me per like when I come home, it'll be stoked. It still scratches and claws at Sasha. She doesn't he doesn't like her and she gets all mad. So every
how long has
time
she had the cat?
3 years, I think.
Oh,
Two or
okay.
3 years. So every time he lays on my lap on my shoulder and stuff when I'm in bed, I'll take a picture and send it to her because I know it makes her mad.
That's funny. Yeah, like because I have two dogs, right? And they're both girls, but sometimes when I have dog sitters, I'll have like male dog sitters. And I found out that they like men. Like they like to cuddle with like male dogs, like the male dog sitters that I have. And I'm like, don't get used to that. I'm like, don't get used to like every time like they always message me and they're like, oh, they I'll book with like a girl and she lives with her boyfriend. They're like, oh, they really liked my boyfriend. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They're not used to a male presence. Clearly I
Yeah.
live in a very female household, so they're not used to a male presence. They're like, oh, what is this? So maybe the cat just really likes a male presence. I don't
Well,
know.
either that or my cat's Mahu or
Well, that would
he
explain
remet.
the butthole blow.
Well, also Sasha got him, what is it, neutered, cut his
Oh
balls
yeah, yeah,
off.
yeah.
So he might
Oh,
have a
retaliation.
yeah, if somebody cut my balls off, I'm not gonna be cuddling up with that person. You know what I mean?
It's
I'm not
supposed to be
gonna.
better. It's supposed to be better for them. Like both my dogs are spayed. They both like they didn't. Well, they don't have balls because they're girls, but they both got their reproductive parts taken out or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not actually sure 100%, but it's supposed to be better for them.
So supposed to make them calmer, right?
I mean, that's what they say. I would say my dogs are the same, um, but they say that it prevents like any kind of like uterine cancer or any kind of like
Oh.
cancer in that area. So that's one less thing to worry about. Plus, they don't get their periods like girl dogs do, right? Because girl dogs
Oh,
they have a
going
period.
heat.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they have a heat. So there's that too. So I don't have to deal with that mess and
My
that drama.
one night my cat, we have a lot of stray cats in the neighborhood, and you know how like in the back of my patio there's a shed, right? Where
Yes,
the
yes.
so on that shed a stray cat went up there and it was I think it was a female. And at the top of the shed is my window. So there was a
Okay.
cat purring up there, and Akka, which is our cat, came by our picture window and they're looking at each other. And this was like 3 in the morning. So I woke up and he's on his paws looking at that cat, and the cat's looking at him. I'm like, what you gonna do, bro? Like, you don't have balls. Like, go to bed. But they were like
Maybe
literally looking at each other, and it was kind of cool, like Disney cartoon moment.
they were probably
But
just, feeling each other out, getting each other's
yeah,
energy. Which
yeah.
reminds me, and this has nothing to do with the cats, but the last time I saw you. Maybe it was at district, but you got engaged. I was so happy to
Yes.
see that.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was I got fucked up that day.
Oh,
I like the worst I've ever gotten.
oh my God, why?
So it was a crazy day. I'll tell you this story.
Yeah,
My
I
plan,
want to hear the story.
okay, my plan was we were gonna go to the sandbar and
Okay.
I was gonna propose out there. I only could have a few people because of the boat situation. And I was super nervous because Sasha, other than bartending, she's kind of Murphy's Law person. Anything wrong that will happen will happen. I call it the SF, the Sasha factor. So I'm thinking we're going to sandbar. I'm going to propose. She gonna drop the ring in the sandbar. So I had like this fishing line hooked up to a floater, but unfortunately that morning the weather in Kaneohe is bad, so I had to do an audible.
Okay.
So my sister, her husband, my brother-in-law, his family home is in Portlock, and it's super nice. They have a pool. So the plan was we're gonna get engaged and then come to my house from the sandbar, but we audibled, and this whole time Sasha's thinking it was her birthday party. So all her friends were coming as the ploy. So I told all her friends, I'm just gonna go to the blowhole, that lookout, and I'm gonna propose there, and then we can go to my sister's house. And it actually ended up being way better because all her friends could come instead of a
Mm.
couple. And then Hapa and my friend Jaren came, and plus my sister and her my brother-in-law were there, and Arya, and she had a bunch of her friends were there, and it was cool. And then the whole day I'm kind of not nervous, but just anxious to get over it. I didn't eat. I didn't
Yeah, yeah.
do
You're
anything.
thinking
Yeah.
about it. You're thinking about it. Yeah, totally, totally.
Yes. And we get to my sister's house after I'm proposed, and like it was such a relief. And you know how my crew is with alcohol.
Yeah, shots. Yeah, lots of shots going around.
So I was taking shots every time somebody came with another shot, and I just got annihilated. I threw up all over myself.
Oh my
Like
God.
Hansen was my savior. He brought me to my truck, and I was like, I passed out. My sister had to drive us home back to Kaneohe. It was the worst I've ever gotten drunk. And I've like, even like the people that like all Hoppa and everybody were like, oh, that's the worst you ever been. And was weird because that weekend, that was Sunday. The next Saturday, I got my blood drawn for my routine labs, and my liver enzymes were off the chart.
Oh
So
my
your
God.
your liver enzymes, I only know this because I work in the lab, is supposed to be from 20 to 40 in that range. Mine was 312. So my doctor is flipping out, thinking I got liver cancer, and he wanted me to take all these tests. I'm telling him no, I got really messed up. I was throwing up bile, and like I was throwing up food. I was throwing up food I
Oh.
didn't even eat yet. I was dying. And the so I kept telling him, and at work where we work, we have it's a fibro scan. So
Wait, was
it
this the day after or like a week
a
after?
week after.
Oh wow, and it was still
Yeah.
in your system.
Yeah, it damaged my liver. But I checked the fibro scan, which is it's like a liver ultrasound. We have that at work, and it was good. So I told my doctor, because he wanted me to do all these tests, and I said, just wait a little while, and I'll get
Redo
my
it.
blood drawn. Yeah. So I didn't drink for a whole month, not even a sip. I went to Vegas with Hoppa for his brother's graduation, and I didn't
Yes, I
even,
heard he got drunk over
yeah,
there too.
yeah. But I didn't even have a drink. I didn't even have a
Oh
sip
wow.
in Vegas, and we were in the clubs and everything. So then I got my test again and I was back to normal. And my doctor was like all relieved. But yeah, it was that's how bad I got on that day. So it was a
Yeah, what
fun
a life
day.
lesson
Yeah.
though. But the crazy part is I thought that you tested the week after is crazy that it stayed in your system all that
Yep.
time.
It wasn't the alcohol stuff, it was the damage I did to
The
the liver.
damage.
That so your liver has enzymes. So when your liver gets damaged, it releases these enzymes to help heal itself. This is the nerd of my lab nerd coming out. And because it was still healing itself, the liver enzyme count was elevated at a high level because really damaged it. And yeah, so it it healed itself. I was taking milk thistle and I didn't drink for a month. And yeah,
I mean, I'm glad it was back to normal. But
me
did
too.
she know that she was getting proposed to? She had to know. You guys been together a long time, right?
Yeah, and of course, she kind of had had the ring how she wanted it. Like she gave
Mm,
a bunch of designs, and then I got to pick which one I would want. But
mm.
I had Steph with me and stuff like that, so it was easy to. She kind of told me which one to pick. You know what I mean? But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's good.
she knew it was coming, but she didn't know when. And it was funny because we're driving to the blowhole, and I already told Arya make like one of your friends never seen it before, so we stopped there. And Sasha fell asleep on the way there. And I'm like, oh, come out. We're going to look at the blowhole. And she's like, nah, I'm just going to go to sleep. So I'm like, okay. So I came out and all her friends were there and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm just looking exactly where I want to do this. And
Yeah.
then I changed my shirt. I put on a Aloha shirt. And
Oh,
then
that's nice.
yeah, then I woke her up and I'm like, hey, get up. I gotta show you this. And she's like, oh, I don't want to. I seen the blowhole. I'm just like, just come. It's super cool. It's different. And she's like, okay. And then she came out and then we're walking. And then she's like, why did you change your shirt? I was like, oh, I don't know. I like this shirt. And then like right when we almost got to where I was gonna do it, then it kind of clicked, and then she just got
Yeah.
super excited and yeah.
Oh, I'm happy for you guys. I'm happy for you
Yeah.
guys because you guys have been together a while. I can only imagine that she was like, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it. I'm glid you did it. Love is in
Yeah.
the air.
I guess. So that's one of my questions for you. So
Oh
your
yes,
invite,
you
do
can
I
ask
put up?
me any questions. By the way,
Okay.
I'm
Do
ready for them.
okay.
Yes.
I got a bunch.
Okay,
do
I'm
I
ready. I'm
do I
ready.
put on your invite plus one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I'm open to it. How long? Wait, how long are you getting married? Because I'm gonna need some time.
July is the we're gonna do it in
Okay, I
July.
have a
Yeah.
year. I have a year.
Yep. A
Okay,
year.
okay, okay. Yeah,
Yep. Pretty much a year. Yep.
I'm gonna be booed up. I'm gonna be booed up by 30. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I know you
I
had
don't know
your
about that.
we had to me and Hanson had to give you a little scolding about your situation in Vegas.
I still think about that guy.
Oh, so he never hit you
I
back or anything?
he has here and there, but he definitely like not. I shouldn't say slowed down, but I just took it like, okay, you're not interested. Like, I'm too old to play games and really try to figure out what does
Yeah.
he mean by doing this and that. I'm like, you're not interested, period. I'm gonna leave it at that and move forward. Like, I'm too old at this point. But I will tell you, I'm very bad with rejection, which is a big reason why I have a hard time dating. Because
I
the
don't
second I get rejected, I'm like, oh no, thank you. I like won't talk to anybody, won't do anything for a very long time.
uh I don't
No,
think
it's not good.
I don't think that situation was a rejection situation. I think like I might have been a bitch from from the story that you told us. I think you might have over intimidated him, maybe.
What? Why do people say that? What does that mean? What does it mean to over intimidate?
Okay, so guys, well, I guess not for me because I like strong girls or women, but I can understand where if a girl seem stronger to a guy and they couldn't handle it, then it might be intimidating. And I'm not saying you're like all aggressive or anything, but
No,
you're
I've
a
got a pretty strong personality.
yeah,
That's
you're
true.
very confident and you're very like you don't really care what other people think about you because you're very strong-minded. Like you're going to be silly and fun and do things to make you laugh or like you're not
That
critical of
It's
yourself.
semi-true. I care a lot about what people think
Really?
more
You don't
than,
seem that
oh
way.
yeah. Oh yeah, like I read all the comments, I let them all get to
What?
me. I care a lot. Oh, I care a
What?
lot about what people think. I care. I care, I guess, in terms of my career. I don't
Oh,
really care what they think about me in terms of my personal life. Like, I don't really care if they think, like, oh, why is she still single? Or, oh, why does she dress this way? Or, like, I care when they're like, she's not funny.
oh,
that's
okay, okay.
that's what I care. So I'm like, oh, why do you think that? But
I
like anything else, I don't really care. Like if they like make assumptions about me, I don't care about that kind of stuff. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. And I think with a guy, a lot of guys might not be able to handle that kind of woman.
Why not?
Obviously, like he didn't wanna make a move because he was
I think
scared.
he's a very confident person. I'm not gonna try and figure it out, but it is weird to talk to a girl for all night long and not want to do anything after that. Like not even like continue on the conversation. Like I guess it was a bit of a gentleman move to not
It's a bitch.
either it was a gentleman move to not like push me, or he just wasn't interested and he was like, I just like to connect with people and I like to make friends.
No, you don't stay out that late talking to somebody if you just want to be friends or you're not interested because
I
you like
guess.
there's so many outs.
Yeah, that's true. Because
Like
he was
I
like,
had them. I would text my friends if I was gonna meet a girl for the first time and call my phone in about an hour. And if I cough, then just pretend that you have a flat tire, you need my help or something, and that'll be my out. And if I cough, they'll be like, "Oh," and I say, "Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I gotta go." But if not, then I'll be like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." And then they'll be like, okay, and then you have an out. But like to because you guys stayed out late, right? Super late in the morning,
I
and
think we met up at like 11, no, 12:30, and then we said goodbye at like 7 a.m. So
okay,
that's like,
so
it's a long
there is
time.
that is yeah.
That or whatever I was saying, he didn't like.
No, because that would have been established by at least 1, 2 o'clock, right?
I mean, maybe,
You
I don't
guys are
know,
in
maybe he
Vegas
didn't.
too, right?
Yes, we were
So
in
there's a
Vegas.
shit ton of things to do in Vegas at that time. So if
Hmm.
you weren't feeling it, then there's stuff to do still. Not stay till 7 in the morning with somebody that I'm not feeling. That's why I say he didn't have enough balls to make a move.
You know what it is I just have bad taste. I just have
Yeah.
bad taste. I just have bad taste. Like I like the ones who don't like me. You know what it is? Like I don't like the ones who put in too much effort. It creeps me out.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't put in any effort, I don't know if you like me or not. So it's just very complex. But I'm
I'm the
open to
same.
it.
Yeah.
I'm very open to dating. But I don't do anything about it. Like I'm not on the dating apps. I don't really like send a first message type of person. Like I don't really put myself out there.
Yeah.
I don't talk to people at the club or at the bar unless they talk to me. Oh, when I was in Vegas too, there was a very cute couple of gentlemen sitting next to me. And at the end I was watching a basketball game, and at the end of the game, I had to leave. And one of the boys was like, "Oh, do you have an Instagram?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I gave him my business card, and he never hit me up. He never reached out, and it just died. So I
Why
have
didn't you
bad
just
taste.
give him your Instagram?
I thought it would be cool.
I I
I
thought like
told you I'm really bad at this. I'm really bad at it. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a boss move for me to give him my business card. Never responded. Never heard from him again.
that kind of,
Um,
I have like this digital one, so this thing right here,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I met one of the UH volleyball girls.
Mm-hmm.
She was she graduated, but she was one of the good ones. Van Sickle or something. She's super good.
Mm-hmm.
And she's pretty. She came to district. And I was telling her about Aria, and she's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
do private lessons." I'm like, "Oh, okay, maybe I could set something up." And then so I bust this thing out, and she's like, "Oh, give me your number." So I'm holding it to her phone and nothing's happening. And it's like, and then I started to feel like an idiot. Like I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she's just like, "Oh, can you just give me your number?" And I'm just like, oh, "Okay." So then I gave her my number, but for like, it just got super silent and awkward. I'm holding my phone and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, just move it like this." And nothing's happening. I'm like, "Okay, I got rid of that service.
Okay.
I just have the sticker on."
It probably
So
felt like such a long, awkward silence too. I
yeah.
bet it did.
But at first I thought it'd be cool. Like, I'm gonna you put this on, and then this whole thing comes out on your phone, and then you click phone, Instagram, your email, like it has the web, like
I've done that.
everything
Yeah, I've
comes
done
up.
that before.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty
but
cool, but that's hilarious that it wasn't
didn't
working at
work.
the time. But yeah, I'm just not good at it. I don't. Do you
uh
have any advice? Do you have any advice as an engaged man? Do you have any advice for me on what I could do to improve my life,
oh,
my dating life? Because I think my career is. I'm working on that part,
I think
and
when I think you should just continue what you're doing. I think you'd be surprised how many people are into you or feeling you that I know.
oh, I
And
know. I see them
yeah.
in my DMs. I know who they are.
Oh, okay. And I think you don't need to adapt to them. I think you're going to find someone that fits you. And I think that's when everything's going to happen correctly. You don't have to analyze it or figure shit out or change who you are. I think when the person that matches you finds you, then you guys are going to vibe and you guys are going to have so much fun. Because if that person is as fun as you are, you guys are going to have a lot of fun.
I mean, I
Definitely.
always tell myself that. I'm like, look, I'm waiting for the right person that I feel like understands me and understands my life. It's just been a long time.
Hey,
It's
I,
been a long, long time. Like, I haven't been in a relationship since beginning of 2021. And I haven't been on a date since like mid 2021.
well, that means you're just weeding out the scrubs, so you can just
No, or I'm yapping them out of my life. Maybe I talk too much. I don't know.
you just gotta
Unless
go
you
out
count
and
that
put it. You
unless
can
you count
match your
that night
energy.
that night in Vegas as a date. I have not been on a date in many, 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 many moons.
Well,
Um,
whoever sees this, you're gonna get more DMs now.
oh no. The thing is like, you know, like I I'm very particular. I'm particular on the way I want to be approached. I'm particular on I like heavily judge your messages to me. And like, okay, I'll give you an example. There's one gentleman I met in person, and he ended up following me on Instagram. And he's like a relatively good looking guy. And I was like on the fence about it. I thought that he was a little strange. And on his birthday, and like this is how analytical I am. On his birthday, only girls were posting him for his birthday. And I was like, yeah, no. That told me everything I needed to know. what I deducted was what I summarized is he gets friend zoned a lot. And there must be a
Oh,
reason why he gets friend zoned. It wasn't that he's a whore. It was that all of
oh.
these all of these girls were like, "You're such a good friend. You're such a good friend." And I was like, "Oh, he gets friend zoned a lot," which tells me that there's something wrong that I don't need to know about. Was that too analytical?
No, that makes sense. I probably wouldn't even have picked up on that. I would have been like, "Oh, he knows plenty of girls. I should hang out with that dude." Especially if
You know what
he's
I
in
mean?
the
Like
friend zone. Yeah.
I'm very particular about like who I'm talking to, and like, you know why I'm like that? Because I wasn't like that before. I will tell you, when I was in high school, I was an ugly duckling. No, nobody wanted to date me, mostly because of my personality. But like, I also didn't dress very well. I just like hygiene wise was not great. And when I came into my 20s, I really found myself, went through that horror phase that every like 20-year-old goes through, and figured out, okay, you're not as ugly as you thought you were in high school. You just needed to get the fuck out of high school.
Yeah.
And so when I got out of high school, I was like, okay, I started to just like kind of like date anybody who was attracted to me. And then when I got in my relationships and I got older, I was like, okay, now I'm just going to be so sure that it's somebody that I really want to be with and not just because they like me. Because I tend to date just because you like me. So I've been like very,
But
that's
that
like the only requirement. I'm like, you like me? All right, let's do
I'm down. Let's figure this out.
it.
I think you
I've gotten
gotta be
better.
a little more receptive to finding out if they're not the one. Like you're not gonna know after 1 or 2 days. Like you're gonna have to figure it out, and you have to like get past certain aspects to make a good judgment after you have data. You need data. It's like a test drive. You got to test
Oh
drive
yeah.
a car before you know that, okay, this is the one I want. So you need to give people a chance, a real chance, not, okay, you check that box, you check that box, you of all the bad things. You have to think like, oh, okay, this guy might have some potential, and think about focus on things you do like about that person instead of like, nope, he did this, nope, he did that, he's done, he's gone. Think of it like, oh shoot, he's cool that way. Oh, I like the way he talked to his mom when I heard him, or I like the way he present how he dresses. Focus on that kind of stuff, and then maybe it can build, and then you'll get to know the real person. Because sometimes you'll shut down the, what do they
Not
say is your
sometimes, a lot of the times.
yeah, their representative, because they're probably just as scared to meet you and date, and they it could be the same for them, you know what I mean? And it's like you guys both could miss out on something because of the preconceived notion of whatever you do wrong is you're out kind.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I'm
I don't know.
definitely like that. I'm definitely like that. I'm definitely like, you've got, I have to really like well, I guess once I get past a certain point, then mistakes are okay. But in the beginning, I'm like very judgmental on
Hmm.
every little thing. And like when I to try and get over the guy in Vegas, I wrote down places in my house. This is gonna make you laugh. I wrote down places in my house, like on my whiteboard and on my mirror. I was like, he is balding. He is not in shape. He is not. He is not worth it. He is not good. He is not good enough for you. And like, I have to do that to get over it. But so it does, like, when I do really like somebody, I really like them, and it takes me a very long time. But anyway, I digress. For your wedding, I'll have a plus one. I'm
All
manifesting
right.
it.
Okay. Because my plan was if you don't, then you're gonna be MC.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll be
Yeah.
MC. What is Taylor gonna be, the DJ?
No, no,
Oh,
yeah, he can't DJ that thing.
how come? Because he's gonna get too drunk.
No, he just got to be involved.
Oh yeah,
I don't,
I'm gonna guess he's gonna be a part of your wedding
yeah, I don't
party.
want him to be working.
Yeah,
Same
yeah,
with
yeah.
you. I
That's
don't
fair.
want you to be working either. But
Yeah, that would
um,
be fun.
I don't want to tell you. So you or ask you, you got
Yes,
your own morning show now. It's all you.
yes.
It's by yourself. I don't
Yes.
mean to change the subject, but I definitely wanted to talk about that because I'm super proud of you. And I'm not judging your co-host from before or anything like that, but I like your aspect of that show the most. So now it's like the part that I like the most about that show is the whole show now. And Ari and I every morning been super stoked, and yeah, you've been killing it. I love your um how you run it. I like your Reddit. What is it called? What do you
Dilemma
call
of
it?
the day.
Yeah, dilemma of the day. I have a question about that too.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't know how to say this any other way, but how come no local people are calling up?
Sometimes I do get sometimes I do get local callers. Sometimes I do. In the beginning, when I first did it, I was getting a lot of calls, and they started to kind of dwindle to 1 or 2 calls
Oh,
a day. But in the beginning, I was getting a lot of calls, and um, I think they're just shy. It's got to be a really good dilemma that people like are really
oh,
talking about, because sometimes, and I think for the most part, the dilemmas that I read, people are like, oh, she should just dump him, and then like, you know what I mean, and then they keep driving in their car. Like,
oh,
it's got to be something that they're like, oh, I gotta, and that's partially on me. Like, I think, okay, this is one of my flaws. I'm scared to get any kind of canceled. So I just keep it very right here. I don't
yeah.
get too controversial. If I were to get controversial and I said, let's do a dilemma of the day for an example. Let's say I'm like, oh, she should just dump him because he sounds like he's gross. I would get calls. I would get
Oh,
calls because
oh yeah.
people would be like, oh, you sound really mean. Like that would work. But I'm so scared of that. I don't want to fight anybody. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
fight anyone and argue, that I just keep it very much here. And I think that's been my issue on why local people aren't calling. Because
Oh, okay.
if I were to say, you know what I mean? If I were to say something like, like this is just strictly for example, if I were to say like, oh yeah, because West Side is best side and no other side is this, people would call, right? Like,
Oh
you
yeah.
have to like kind of entice them to call. And so that's not partially, it's mostly on me to figure out a way to entice without getting too controversial.
I
Like,
get it.
Rory on Island 98.5.
Yeah.
The way that he got listeners is he would just like make up shit about newscasters and other radio personalities. I forget who it was that he made fun of, but he made fun of one of the anchors. I think it was like Keahi Tucker or something. And he was like,
Oh.
oh, Keahi Tucker wears a wig. Something like that. He just like
Oh,
threw
really?
something out there. He
So you
does
just make
it.
shit.
Howard Deshevsky. It was Howard Deshevsky.
Oh.
And he said on the air, he was like, I heard Howard Deshevsky wears a wig. And it created so much buzz because Howard was talking about it on the news. You know, people were talking about it in their
Oh.
cars. He's not afraid of that. I am. And that's like my biggest gripe is when I was on the show with the boys, that was my job, was to keep it very level. I was specifically there to make sure that they weren't saying anything or doing anything that was going to get us canceled. So that's all I really know how to do. So I'm like always afraid of being too dicey, of being,
Oh.
too spicy. So that's the reason why I feel like we don't really get local callers, because I'm not that spicy.
I think you are. I think you do it in a right way. I have a story about Rory Wild, by the way.
Oh, do
Um,
you?
yes, because he's been around for a while. And while I was in high school, I played football for Damien, and
Mm-hmm.
he was talking shit about the Damien football team.
That sounds about right.
So we called him up and dared him to come to our practice, but he never came. But he did come to Damien and host Brown Bags to Stardom. If you remember Brown Bags.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and we may or may not have fucked up his BMW in the parking lot. I don't know.
Legally, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Even from my standpoint, don't say anything. But something might have happened to his BMW. Something
Yeah.
might have happened.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Every local boy gentleman I meet, it goes one or two ways. Either they love him or they've had some sort of personal incident with him and they like
Yeah.
are like, he's just not afraid. He's like genuinely not afraid, which
Yeah.
is like, I wish I was more like that. But I told you, I care about what people think when it comes to my career and it comes to my craft.
Yeah.
Now, if they're talking bad about me and like how I look, how I sound, like whatever, that you're entitled to your own opinion. But like when you start to come at my craft, that's when I start to get a little like a little
Yeah.
scared.
Well, I think you're killing it. How has it been being by yourself versus having two other people to kind of
It was a
banter
tough
with?
transition. It was a tough transition. It still is tough. Um, but I would consider myself to be a very optimistic person, but a realistic person at the same time. I'm someone that makes the best out of any situation. So I'm like, look, I have this is the way that I see it. Either I can feel sorry for myself for being by myself and doing this show, and listeners will hear me feeling sorry for myself, tune out. Or I can do the best possible show that I think that I can do being solo. And what would that look like? What would that be? It would be I do a lot more prep work now, a ton more prep work. I'm prepping the night before, I'm prepping in the
Mm,
morning. I'm like for example, like 6 o'clock, I'm like prepping for 8 o'clock already. Like
mm,
consistently I'm consistently trying to make the best show that I can for myself with the circumstances that I have. Because if I were to ever have to leave or leave in general, I want to make sure that I have something that's worthwhile. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say they want to replace me with the Breakfast Club. Let's say that happens and I don't have a morning show anymore. I want to be able to have the pieces of the morning show that I did do to be good. So if anybody else wants to have me, they're like, "Oh, here's what she did when she was by herself. It sounded decent. Maybe we'll put her with another person or whatever the case may be."
yeah.
I'm always thinking about the next opportunity. So that's kind of the way that I get through it. But it was tough. I still prefer to be on a show with multiple people. I still prefer that. And for the record, I still am in good graces with Sam and Ryan. There was no beef,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we can address that.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I
like those
just talked to
guys too.
Sam.
Yeah.
I just talked to Sam today. So yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like I still prefer that. But I will tell you, it's getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. I'm getting a lot better at it. Because in the beginning, doing it by myself, it was challenging. I felt like I was stumbling a lot and over explaining. I've been told I'm an over explainer, which I'm probably doing right now. Um,
Nah.
and I just, I got a lot better. In fact, what I do is whenever I meet another person in the business, especially another woman in the business, I pick their brain. So there was one woman who I met that she's the lead of her show. It's like her show. And I asked like for any advice. I was like, do you have any advice for like me? Cause I'm now the lead, but I'm alone. And like, what can I do? What do you think would be the best? And she gave me some advice. And so that's kind of the way that I've been getting through it.
Oh, that's
But thank you.
well,
But thank you for all the kind words too. I'm so glad that
yeah.
you and Aria listen.
Yes, I do want to ask you, do you still do the Hollywood news?
Yes, it's called Tea Time now. It's the
See,
same thing, but it's
because
called.
the the time frame that I drive, like I miss
Mhm.
it. And I
Mm.
always like that because it made me feel like I knew a lot. So I would tell Sasha or something like, "Oh, you didn't know about that, or you didn't know that." Like everybody knows that, and it's because I heard it on your show. So I was informed with pop culture way more than I am now because
I
I
used
don't.
to do it 6:15, 7:15, 8:15, 9:15.
Yeah, see,
Now
I'm
I do
not.
it 6:45, 8:45. But I think for you, I'll do 7:45.
That'd be no. It would be six. All right, from 6:45.
I
Yeah,
usually
it'd
do
be
it
about 7.
6:45.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. I usually do about 6:45 and 8:45, but I think I'm gonna do 7:45 because
Yeah.
usually I have like time to do it in 7:45 where I can do it. And I like to do it. before I ever was in radio, before I ever did any kind of like entertainment, I loved Hollywood and celebrity culture. I watched so many movies. I watched so many TV shows. I fucking love celebrity culture. That was my dream job, was to be a celebrity correspondent.
E
It still
News.
kind of is. Yeah, E
Yeah.
News. So, but
Yep.
like, I'm still passionate about that. And I think that's why people like that segment, because I'm like, I think whenever you're passionate about anything, people tend to gravitate towards it because you sound
Yeah.
like you're really excited about it. Yeah. Versus like, which is also why I choose certain dilemmas of the day, because they make me feel like happy to read them, or I enjoyed reading them, or, you know, like I enjoyed the dilemma and what do I think about it. And so, yeah, I think that's why people liked Hollywood. Now we've just changed the name to Tea Time. I'm spilling the tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that because I know how much effort you put into it, and it would have good stuff, and I always felt like I
Oh my
was
God. The
in the
week or
know.
the month of Kendrick and Drake, I loved it.
Oh,
Oh my God. That's all I was talking about. That's
that's what
all I was talking about.
I want to know about this because I didn't hear it and I know some parts. I just read that he's up for a Grammy for that song.
Okay, so Kendrick will most likely be nominated for a Grammy just because that song was so successful and it's very well done. It's very well done, very intricate too. Um,
Yeah. And his hidden innuendos are like even the
yes.
video innuendos, like couple video stuffs was like, oh, that's well thought of.
I've seen Kendrick Lamar twice in concert. First time was in Vegas, second time was like in California, and it was like a true concert because the first one is like a festival, and festivals are like they don't get to have like a stage set up and a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
storyline. And then so for his concert, he had like a whole story and like a live band. It was fantastic. He's such a great artist. I know that like the kids say I'm glazing, but I've been a fan for a long time. So when that song like that came out and Drake put out a diss, I was so excited.
Because you know he's
I
gonna
was
come.
so because I knew Kendrick was going to release something. I knew he was, and I was so excited. And the first couple of songs, they were great, but they were not like us. Like not like us. When that came out, I remember I was in Vegas. I was in Vegas, and I remember it came out minutes after Drake put out a song, and I
Oh,
was like, as soon as
wow.
I heard it, I was like, oh my God, he won. Like as soon as I heard the first few beats, I was like, he won. I saw an interview. I forget who the artist was with, but it was an interview with Vlad TV. And he said, Gary Owen, the comedian Gary Owen. And, you know, Vlad was asking Gary Owen, like, oh, who do you think won this battle? And Gary's like, I don't know. I'm a comedian. I love them all. And Vlad goes, I think whoever has their song turn into a hit, a radio hit, will win.
Oh,
And it was before Not Like Us came out. And he was right. Cause like Drake has not looked the same. People have not talked to him the same. Like
yeah, he
he's
got canceled.
definitely,
So
oh
what
yeah.
started the beef? Like I'm not into that. So I kind of want to know.
Okay, so Drake, there's been speculation that Drake likes young women. He's been on record talking about uh, being friends with Millie Bobby Brown when Millie Bobby Brown was like 14 years old. And so
Oh,
there's been speculation that he likes younger girls. And so that was like always in the air. So that's like what Not Like Us is about, amongst other things. But Drake, I guess he did a lot of people wrong. I don't know if it had to do with women or with the business.
hmm.
That part is like very intricate, but a lot of artists that he has worked with, for example, The Weeknd. In one of Drake's diss tracks, he talks about The Weeknd, and The Weeknd also put out another diss track. He was featured on Metro Boomin and Future Song. But that was like a fallen business deal. Like that was like he was supposed to be signed to Drake's label, ended
Hmm.
up not being signed. That was like the reason why they're beefing. With Drake and Kendrick Lamar, Drake made the mistake of coming at Kendrick Lamar's family, and that's why Kendrick like kept coming back. He
Oh,
came at Kendrick Lamar's family. He said that Kendrick's wife was cheating on him with Kendrick Lamar's business manager, Dave Free. And so in the music video, you see the wife, you see the manager, Dave Free, who also directed, I don't think he's the manager, I'm sorry, business partner, Dave Free. And it was like kind of like another, like I told you, the video is so intricate. It was another way of saying like, fuck you, Drake, essentially. Like, this is not true. And what the part to me, everyone thought that Drake lost with Not Like Us. To me, Drake lost when he used AI Snoop Dogg and Tupac. That's when I thought that Drake lost the battle. Because that's so weird. Tupac's dead.
Yeah.
And also Snoop Dogg is alive. So it's like, it's weird that you would, you know what I mean? Like either way, it's weird to use an AI voice in a diss track. Like when he dropped that, I was like, oh, he lost. To me, he lost because you had to stoop to that level. I was like, there's no coming back from this. And I was right. I was right. But yeah, so I don't really know why they beefed in the first place from, well, in Kendrick Lamar's verse on Future Metro Boomin's Like That, he says, it goes back to Drake, J. Cole's song, First Person Shooter. In First Person Shooter, J. Cole says, we the big three, fuck the big leagues or something. Me, Aubrey, talking about Drake, and Kendrick, like me, K. Dot. He was saying like the three best rappers in the game is J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick Lamar. And Kendrick Lamar responded by saying, fuck the big three, it's just big me. And that kicked off the beat.
I definitely knew that part.
Yeah. There I go over explaining again.
No, that's good because I needed to know. I see everybody in the club, and that song comes up on. It's like everybody's like, they not like us. They not like us. I'm like, who wants to be like you?
He's probably going to win a Grammy. He's probably going to win the Grammy, most likely.
But it's funny how everybody gets into it. It's like their anthem. It's like, well, nobody wants to be like you. Like you're like, it's like, what is that song from Drake? Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Oh, yeah.
And I would look at these girls and I'm like, your fucking card got declined. You're still on the bottom. You're not here. Like you
gotta manifest it. You gotta manifest it. One of my favorite Drake songs is Nice for What? And that song is all about like if you just go and listen to it, but Nice for What is my favorite Drake song. I can tell he didn't write it. I can tell a woman wrote it. Because it's all about like an independent woman who like works really hard and she wants to go out and have fun, and she doesn't got a man, and she's just like having like a fun summer essentially, because that song came out during the summertime. That's my favorite Drake song. But definitely a woman wrote it, because I don't think Drake would have cared about what a woman did in the summertime. No, I don't think so.
That's kind of
but
it's fun. It's funny how people in the club like resonate with those songs, and it's funny. Like it doesn't match. It's like start from the bottom, and then it doesn't match. The people singing it doesn't match the people singing it.
Is that you're at the club and like district a lot, but the music they play there is not your cup of tea. You're like a rock and roll guy, right?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Because you come off as somebody that like maybe likes hip hop or rap or even like Island 98.5 music, but then it comes to find out that you like.
I'm definitely a rocker. Yep, definitely. I know hip hop and I listen to it. It's just I prefer rock, and I just it's when like Not Like Us, everybody sings it, and it's like their anthem. It means so much. It's like freaking long time ago they had Gwen Stefani, Holla Back Girl. All the girls are screaming, I ain't no holla. And I'm like, yes, you are. You freaking holla back last week. Like, you can't sing this song. You're lying.
Thaddeus, it's all about manifesting. They're trying to not be a holla back girl. So they're like, I'm not a holla back girl. Like, it's all about you say it and then you'll believe it and eventually do it. That's like...
Okay, I get it.
Let me defend the girls real quick, but that's hysterical.
And it's like the Drake one, started from the bottom. Like, you missing 2 teeth, your card got declined. Like,
Because they're working their way to the top, Thaddeus. They're working their
hey.
way to the top. They're manifesting. That's hysterical, though. That's really funny. That's really funny. You got to
Yeah.
manifest it, you know? Like a lot of
Okay.
music. There's a song by Ariana Grande. It's called Just Like Magic. And the song is literally talking about how she manifested her life. And there's a lot of like songs like that where it's not necessarily about something that actually happened to them. It's more so what they want to happen to them. And it comes true sometimes. I'll let you know. I'm still manifesting a man, so I'll let you know.
Okay. That's good to know, because next time I hear that song, You Ain't No Holla Back Girl, and they're singing, I'm gonna be like, I'm so sorry. I hope you work it out. Because you are a holla back girl. No. Just
You know
turn off
what? To
your
be
phone.
fair, a lot of people are holla back girls and boys. They both are.
Oh
Both men
yeah.
and women tend to go back a lot. I love the videos that some of these Hawaii creators do. And it's all about like local boys after they get their heart broken. I've seen a couple of those, and they're always like, oh, I gonna go out, I gonna go district, I gonna go Roxa. And then they call their girl like the same night.
Babe, I
Like I
love
love those.
you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I miss you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I've
So
done
you
that
can't say
before
that. Yeah, exactly.
when I was younger. Nah, I would
You can't
change.
say
I
boy. I could
promise.
change. Yeah. So you know what? Boys are also holla back boys. Okay, they also
Yeah.
are.
No, we're holla boys. We holla first. They holla back.
Oh, got it.
Nah.
Okay. Yeah, they all do that. They all do that.
That's
I
funny.
don't know what it is, but yeah, every time I see those videos, it always makes me laugh. Do you have any other questions that you've been dying to ask me?
Oh, yup. So
Oh, okay.
I just went to Disney World, and
Yes.
I was definitely not as impressed as I am with Disneyland.
How come?
Okay, for one, I noticed the Pirates of the Caribbean ride is way shorter, like way
Mm-hmm.
shorter.
It
I
is.
think Disneyland is like 15 minutes, and Disney World was 8 minutes. And
Yeah.
me and Aria, you can't slip that by us. We've been on it so many times. We know when and where and what. So we're picking out like, oh, and then it just ended, and we're what just happened? It's missing stuff. That,
Yeah. It is shorter.
yeah, I think in Florida, well, for one, it was hot as hell. So
It's
that
hot.
didn't help.
Yeah.
So might been a little bit more grouchier, but the employees don't have that hospitality as the ones in California. And
So
I
like,
told her,
okay, so in California, the park is so much smaller than Disney World, so they're employing for a lot less. So they can
"Hmm,
be a bit more particular on who they hire and how they train
I
versus
see.
Disney World is so massive, they just need staff. So they're not really
Yeah.
like hiring the best of the best people, they're just hiring just to fill.
Yeah.
So that's why you tend to get not as nice. Also, it's Florida and like it's just hot as shit and people are
Yeah.
racist and,
Yeah.
and like yeah, yeah, there's like not a lot going on besides Disney World over there, so they're like not happy with their lives. And yeah, definitely I can see why there's a difference between the two.
Yeah. And it was, Aria wanted a cup of water. And so she asked the lady, like, oh, can I get a cup of water? She's, you just want water? You can buy something. And then Aria's like,
Oh,
she get a little attitude too. She said, I just want the water. And she, and then I'm yelling like they wouldn't do that at Disneyland.
oh, that's bad. That's really bad. I haven't been to Disney World since I left, which was 2015, so close to 10 years.
Yeah.
So but I can imagine that yeah, when I was working at both the places, I think that Disneyland, I mean, I had fun at both times, but Disneyland, I made a lot more friends too.
Yeah. I
I made a lot more
also,
friends.
I also, and this is just my opinion. I and Aria's as well, and I kind of have a theory behind it. So I didn't feel as much of that Disney magic at Disney World.
Mm,
and the nostalgia and that good, it was there but wasn't as strong. And I just, Arya kind of said the same thing, and I kind of thought long about it, and then I realized one thing which made me think this is the reason why. And it could be my Disney dork coming out, but Walt Disney never been to Disney World when it was
No.
open. So his
Mhm.
mana isn't there. His his mana, his force isn't there. And his heart was at Disneyland, and his his whole passion was there at one point. So I'm thinking
That's such a
maybe
great
that,
point. That's such a
yeah,
great point. Yeah.
it
I
could be
think
that.
so. I think so because well, like Magic Kingdom is like a replica of Disneyland, and he really
Yeah.
didn't have a hand. I would say he had a hand in Epcot. Like he was really like trying to
Yeah.
do Epcot, and he had a lot of like. So Epcot to me, like, and going all around the world. If I were to pick a favorite park, I would say it's Epcot.
That's the one I didn't
I
go to.
Oh yeah, see, Epcot
Yeah, I
is
should have went
fun
to that.
because you
Yeah.
can go drinking around the world
Yeah.
and you can go to like each pavilion and they have and they're also building Epcot to be a bit more like for thrill rides, but
Hmm.
Epcot they had he had like a little bit more of a hand in.
Because it started out
But
at the World Fair, right? The
yeah.
couple of, yeah. See,
Yeah,
I'm a
so God,
Disney
that
dork.
makes so much sense. That makes
Yeah.
so much sense that you would say that. I think too, it's so massive. Everything is so spread out too. I feel like that kind of makes it feel a bit emptier, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I loved both Disney World and Disneyland, but I can see how you would to me, Disneyland, it's convenient that the parks are right next to each other because like at
Yeah.
Disney World, you have to take a bus or a
Oh yeah,
shuttle or like
tram. Yep.
something to the other park, right? It's just so spread out. So it is nice at Disney that you can just walk over to the other park.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, but I feel like I lose the Disney magic easier at Disneyland because you like can look out and see like Motel 6
Oh.
versus like versus like versus like Disney World, you like look out and you only see like vegetation or you see like the other park. You don't really see like too much because they
Yeah.
bought so much of that land.
Yeah.
I also liked about Disney World, and I think they still do this, but at Disney World, what I liked about it as a tourist was staying at the resort and then like
Mm.
taking the bus to the park and then like you were on the meal plan and you would get like I loved my experience because for
Oh.
my high school graduation I didn't have a party. I went to Disney World. That was like
Okay.
my what I wanted to do. Yeah, so instead of having a party I went to Disney World. No regrets.
Oh yeah.
um I think of that trip so fondly. So yeah, I think I just like really loved that experience. And but I can see why you'd say that about Walt Disney. That's such a great
Yeah.
point. And how it didn't really and it makes sense that Florida wasn't as nice. But they're also like kind of going on strike right now, or some of the Disneyland workers are, so they're probably not that nice either.
Oh. The
They're on strike right now at Disneyland. Actually,
oh, I didn't know
I
that.
might, fingers crossed, might be going to Anaheim in August. Fingers crossed. Well, first of all, a flight is booked. A trip is booked to Anaheim, but they have you heard of D23?
Yes.
So I 2 years ago, 2022, I went to D23 on a media pass.
Oh
So I'm
wow.
waiting for a media pass to get approved, and then I'm gonna go to D23 this year.
Oh, if you do that, you gotta give me all the intel immediately.
Oh
Like, oh,
yeah, oh yeah.
pictures. Oh, this is happening. This is happening. This is coming out. Yeah.
That's like my cup. That's like my. I love an exclusive. I love being the first to know news.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why. It's not important, but I love that feeling.
Plus two,
Like at
you're into
D23.
Marvel, right? So
Yes, yes.
that they're gonna
So at
give you all the tea
D23
on
when they
that.
were
Yeah.
announcing stuff, I was like we were the first ones to see like all this footage. Like we still are the only ones that saw certain footage that hasn't even come out yet. Like
Oh wow.
there's a series called Ironheart that I think it was supposed to come out this year, but they kept pushing it back. But we saw like a trailer for that series that like is still not online.
Hmm.
What else did we see? I think everything else that we saw came out for the most part. But if I get to go this year, I'm so excited. I'm so
That would be cool.
excited.
I'd be excited for you. I would
Because
want to know all the cool stuff.
they do the parks too. So I was there when they announced that about Tiana's Bayou. I
Oh,
was there when
okay.
they
Oh
announced that.
yeah.
Um,
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain, yeah. So they break it down by 3 different days. So one day is like movies, entertainment. So they have like a Marvel panel, they have a Pixar panel, they'll have like an
Oh
animation
wow.
panel, and then they'll have another day that's like television. Sometimes it's broken down over those 2 days, and then they have one day where it's broken down by parks. So everything new coming to the parks:
Oh.
Shanghai, Hong Kong, Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Disney World, and they say like all this new stuff that's coming. Which, from the last time we were there, they announced that they're gonna have like an Avengers ride at Avengers Campus, but I don't think they have released it yet or haven't
Oh.
like really like done any development on it. But that was really cool. That part, that's probably my favorite day is when they announce the new rides and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would
it's
be
like the
cool.
Marvel portion is fun and they bring out all the celebrities. So they
Oh,
bring out all
really?
these celebrities. Yeah, every time. So like every Marvel portion, like every Marvel movie or show that they were announcing, they brought out the actors from the show. I think all of them came out. All
Wow,
of them came out. So
that's
like, did you see the new trailer for Captain America? Because there's going to
uh-uh.
be a fourth one coming out. Yeah. Okay. So in the new trailer for Captain America, Harrison Ford is in it, and they brought like that's when they announced Harrison Ford was going to be a part of it, and he came out, and it was like
Oh, you seen
crazy
Harrison Ford live?
twice because
What?
he came out for the Marvel, he came out for the Marvel portion, and then he came out for Indiana Jones, and he cried.
Oh man.
He cried because everyone gave him a standing ovation, and he cried.
Oh, in my
Isn't that
opinion,
crazy?
yeah, that I would. In my opinion, he played the two most iconic. He's the best. He had the best roles ever. He was Han
Yeah, he
Solo
did.
and Indiana Jones. That's game over.
Yeah,
Like, there's no
yeah.
one ever gonna top that. Like, that's
Yeah,
he is the man. Oh,
he had very
I would have
iconic
cried.
roles. People were crying. You know
Yeah.
what I'll tell you is I'll tell you the part where everyone was crying was we saw the first time Halle Bailey sang "Part of Your World" in the live action Little Mermaid. That
Oh
was the first
wow.
time anybody had seen it, and yeah, I remember it like the person who directed the movie. He's like, "We're just gonna show you the entirety of "Part of Your World." Sobbing. People were sobbing next to me,
Oh.
sobbing here, sobbing there. I was like, whoa. I
It's not
was like,
that.
whoa. Everybody was sobbing when that scene came on. And I still haven't watched the movie.
Oh, I haven't either. Her eyes are kind of too far apart, like a shark. I don't know. It's
Oh, you
too.
know what we also saw is we saw like 6 scenes from Avatar. So the new
Oh, the
Avatar that came out,
yeah.
we saw
Oh,
like
that
six
ride was
scenes.
pretty cool. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so we saw like all they like they they like they divided off the sections of the room and then they gave us like 3D glasses. It was great. That was really good.
Oh, that's
Those
pretty cool.
panels are really fun. Yeah, fingers crossed I get a media pass. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's also getting a little too late. Like it's supposed to happen August, I believe August 9th through that weekend. So that August 9th
Oh,
that weekend. Yeah.
so
So I
who do
told
you
you
got to call?
I booked something. Well, I have a friend that I met the last time I was there, and he has much more credential than I do because he actually writes for like comic book websites and like
Oh,
he
wow.
writes for like those like you know what I mean? So he has a lot more like if anyone's gonna get a credential, he would, right? It's like that fits his format. And even he said, I haven't gotten any kind of email yet. So
Oh,
I think they just haven't sent it out yet. But they
I
had a
hope you get
lot of
it. That would be
media.
cool.
They had a lot of media, like a ton of media, and like from blogs, like they would be like, I was like, what blog are you from? They're like Disney food blog, and I'm like, oh, okay. Actually, I'm at the D23. I met my favorite. Um, I don't know how to describe him, but he does like recaps of Marvel shows, like or movies, and he finds all the Easter eggs in the movies and
Oh,
in like the TV shows. His name is Eric Voss. It's called New Rock Stars. That's like my favorite like breakdown of Easter eggs and stuff. And he was sitting right next to me, and he was so nice. He was so nice. He was so cool, so down to earth. Not that I was expecting anything different, but it was just like really surreal to like sit down
Oh,
next to him and like kind of pick his brain. And he was like super nice. And yeah, he'll break down like all like he'll be like, oh, see this strawberry back here? This represents a strawberry from this movie. And like he'll break down like all these. I'm
oh,
a big nerd and I'm a
that's
big nerd
kind
in
of
that
cool.
sense. I have my tickets for Deadpool and Wolverine for Thursday.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty. Yeah, I'm not into the Marvel stuff, but I tell you what, when I went to Galaxy's Edge and seen the Millennium Falcon parked, I almost cried. I'm just like, oh
It's
shit, it's
cool,
right
right? It's
there. It
really
is right
cool.
there. I'm looking around like the Millennium Falcon's right there. And Sasha's looking at me. I'm just like, oh, that's my little kid dream right there to see the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it
Those
was
rides are
kind of
really
cool.
cool too.
Yeah.
The last time I went to Disneyland, and I might do it this time, I might not, but the last time I went to Disneyland, I went by myself and I got to ride everything
Oh
because
yeah.
everything has a single rider. So I got to
Yep.
ride everything. If you're like, that's like my biggest suggestion to anybody. I'm like, if you're okay with like not riding with your family, which most people aren't, frick, that'll get you on all the rides. I
Yeah.
rode
Yep.
everything. Yeah.
Me and
Um,
Arya did that with the Incredicoaster. We rode it like multiple times because that
oh,
single rider, she didn't give a rip.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
Just if you, as long as you get on the ride, right? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like always my biggest suggestion to anybody in terms of like Disney is use the single rider and be very, very nice to castmates. In fact, I would recommend flirting with castmates because you never know what like well, back when I was in Florida, I was much younger, right? I was like 20, 21. And that's what we used to do is not flirt, but we would kind of like be like, oh, we lost our fast passes and we want to get on. And they would just like, I'm going to tell you as long as you're nice, for the most part, most cast members don't care. They're like, just come through
Yeah,
for the
because they're
most
not
part.
losing anything. You know what I mean?
No,
Like, yeah.
they're not losing nothing.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, that's what I used to do. But when I was working at the park, of course, it was a lot easier, especially in the area that I was in, because I was near Avengers Campus, but it was
Yeah.
before they built Avengers Campus, but I was near that area. So like it was when Tower of Terror was just turned into Guardians of the Galaxy. So
Oh,
like that was like kind of like my area. So all the rides within that area, actually within California Adventure, I was able to just walk on
oh, because you knew
just because you
everybody.
knew all the castmates. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
which
had
did you like better, the Guardians or Tower of Terror? Because I got to ride.
I hate both.
Okay, I'm the same. I like both for certain reasons. Yeah.
I get so scared on those rides. There's a picture of me, my brother has it, but there's a picture of me just so freaked out on Tower of Terror. I have another one for my friend that she was like, you were being so dramatic, but I hate this dropping feeling.
Oh,
I can do it kind of like this, like Splash Mountain, fine, that drop, fine, but getting out of my seat, oh, I hate that feeling. Like turbulence on a plane, you know, like they
oh,
have that.
yeah.
I cannot. I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling. So that's why to me, Tower of Terror and like Guardians are so hard for me. Like I have a really
Oh,
hard time with those rides. But any kind of other drop is fine.
I
Although
like
I have never ridden in Incredicoaster. I was too
really?
much of a chicken. Yeah.
What?
I was too much of a chicken. But I can do
Oh,
Space Mountain all day
oh,
long.
I
Yeah.
like I like the draw. I cannot do spinning. Anything. I can't do the
Uh,
teacups, but I could do
oh,
yeah, anything else I could do. But the I liked both the old Tower of Terror and Guardians. So it was cool when we were in Disney World. They have the old version of Tower of Terror, and
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the first time Arya got to see it that way. And then
It
Tron was
is cool. It's
super
a little
cool.
old school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tron, you got to ride
Tron is super cool. Yeah,
Tron.
Tron is super dope.
I
Yeah.
know. Dang. Did you guys get to ride the Guardians of the Galaxy, the new roller coaster one? I
Which
think
one
that one's
was
at
that?
Epcot, actually.
Nope, we didn't go to Epcot. That's the
Yeah.
one. Yeah, that's the one we didn't ride. They had a yeah, the Tron one was like, and then when we went to Animal Kingdom, they had this Himalaya
Oh,
Alps
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah. I've been on that one.
down, and when the thing went
Expedition
backwards,
Everest.
yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That one was
Yeah.
super cool. And I
I've been
and
on that
I
one. That one
didn't
wasn't too bad.
yeah, I didn't know anything about it. So when we started going backwards
Oh,
and then I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. That was
yeah.
super
It's
cool.
a
Yeah.
That's a fun ride. Yeah, Expedition Everest is a good one. I left before they built Avatar and Tron.
Oh,
I will go back. I will go back
yeah.
eventually. Hopefully,
Avatar
I
is
don't
pretty
wait until I
sick.
have children. I
Yeah.
want to go to like my brother just went to Disneyland Paris. Like I want to try all the
Oh,
parks
yeah.
before like I get too old.
Yeah.
But I think you don't really get too old. You know what it is? That is you don't want to be seen as a Disney adult because right now it's like not cool to be a Disney adult. Do you ever
I
see
don't
that
care.
online
Uh-uh.
where people are like, "Oh, you're a Disney adult." Like Disney adults are like a different breed of they're like seen as dorky or like
Oh,
nerdy.
anyway, call me that. I don't care. I'm gonna have fun. I'm a
But
Disney
yeah,
dork. Yep, I'm a dork. I don't care. But yeah, the Avatar, the whole land is super cool.
yeah, they were
They
just building it when I left.
mm,
Yeah.
the yeah, it's pretty spot on, and Disney don't hold back. The ride, the super crazy one is if you were in what is the Soren? Remember, you know
Like
how
Soren,
Soren is?
right? Yeah, yeah.
It's like Soren, but you're on the back of one of those bird things, and it moves, and you can feel it breathing between your
Oh,
legs.
that's yeah,
It's
that's
super
crazy.
cool, and you're on it like, and yeah, it was super cool. I had COVID, so I was dying.
Hey, Solana. Sorry, my
No
dog.
worries. Yeah,
Oh, you had COVID while you were on
yeah.
it?
The last day I started to feel symptoms, so I was like
Oh,
struggling
jeez.
through it, and that was the last day of the
Oh,
trip.
sorry. I'm just grabbing my dog. Hold
No
up.
worries, no worries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shoot, we're
Hello.
getting in some trouble. Okay, yeah. So you had COVID on the last day, and that's when you went on the ride.
Yeah,
But
but
you didn't know you had COVID, right? You just thought you were
no,
kind of
I
like
didn't
getting
know.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah, I just
yeah.
had a flu or something, feeling weird. But
Hmm.
that ride was pretty intense, and if yeah, it's cool. You have like the 3D goggles on, and you can look
Anything
around,
with
and it's
3D
yeah,
makes me feel a little motion sick too.
yeah. Some people were like that.
Did you guys go to Universal?
Yes, we did with the whole
Like I
team.
love
Yeah.
like I love the Harry Potter rides, but they make
Oh
me feel
yeah.
sick every time I go on it.
Oh
But I love it. I love it. I
yeah.
love it.
Those are cool. They have the new roller coaster where you're on Hagrid's
Yeah, yeah,
motorbike.
yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool. Yeah, we got to do
I
all that.
yeah, when I was at Disney World, I think both times when I was at Disneyland and at Disney World, I had Universal passes. So
Oh,
I would go like periodically. You know why? Because like at Disney World, the Universal annual pass was like just a little bit more than like a day pass for like 2 days. It was like I want to say it was like for 2 days, it was like maybe like $115, and then like an annual pass was like 130. So
oh
like
wow.
if you went more than two times, then it would be worth it essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So
I would have all
so
that
yeah,
if I was.
yeah.
Yeah, if I lived
I went
there,
to
I'd be about
Universal.
it.
When did the last time I went? I went last year, I think. I think I went last year, and yeah, it was fun. Once again, recommend single rider
Yeah.
because it is a bit hard to like take pictures because I'm like always having to do this.
Oh yeah.
Which my feed is, you know what I notice about my feed is my Instagram feed is all selfies because I never have anybody to take my picture.
Well, you
And the
don't
other
have
day,
like friends that go with you to those kind of trips?
no, no. I like to do things solo, but certain things I'm like, oh, like I get myself into a bind. Like the last D23 I went to, I made a friend, so he was taking the pictures. But like other if I don't make a friend, like I gotta take them myself. I just every gig I do, I like if they have a photo booth, I like to take a picture like when I'm there and then like keep it and remember all the gigs. And I just did my alumni paina at Mid Pacific, and I was trying to take the picture by myself. I was trying to take the picture by myself, And one of the photo booth workers is like, no, he'll jump in it with you. I was like, no, I don't want you in it.
Get out.
But I didn't know how to tell him that. So now I just have pictures with this like random photo booth worker. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? I don't want to keep it. I don't know who you
Yeah.
are. But
That's crazy.
I'm used to doing that kind of stuff solo. But that's the only time where I'm like especially at theme parks, because you want to get like the castle and stuff in the background.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's hard. Is Sasha also a like? It was my other dog. I had to pick both of them up.
Oh,
Don't step on
she's
her.
seen you. That's yeah.
Is she?
What
is
that?
she also into Disney and stuff too, Sasha?
Not as much as me and Arya, but she is a lot. Like she has certain little things that she really likes. We got into the pin trading.
Oh yeah, I love the pin
Yeah.
trading. Yeah.
So
my brother likes the pin trade too.
Yeah. So we realized that they have people that bring their own pins, and those are like the best. And they are suckers for anything Aulani. So we go to Aulani and buy the Aulani pins just so we have something to bargain with. Like, oh, we'll take so we can trade for like super cool pins, and then they'll eat up the Aulani ones, and because it's harder for them to get.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they
Yeah.
like the Aulani pins. That's good to know. That's good little intel.
Yeah. And we buy like the scrub packs, and then you trade them with the like when they have the boards out and stuff.
You ever see like the merchant, like I don't know what they're called, but they're like very intense about merchandise and certain exclusive items.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Like at D23, they were releasing like certain things that were only exclusive to D23. They were lining up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to be one of the first ones in line. I was like,
oh wow,
y'all are insane. Like I can understand lining up to get a good seat for like maybe one of the panels, or like, you know what I mean, for one of the shows, so you can like film a lot closer. But for merchandise is crazy because a lot of them are reselling it online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're reselling it, right? So like I have a D23 exclusive pin that you could only get at D23 that I kept. Or you could only get in that room. Like it was like only those who are in this room right now get this pin. I have one of those. I have like 2 pins from D23, but
wow,
I didn't know that about Aulani. That's like really intriguing. Now
go Aulani, buy like a couple of make sure it says Aulani on it, and then those people that are on the side with their little books, and then you figure out which one you have that you want, and don't let them know that you have the Aulani one, and just be like, oh, I have these, and they're like, nah, I don't know, and then you bust it out after, but I got this one, and they just light up. Yeah.
You know that I collect mini ears?
Oh really?
Oh yeah, I have some over here. Wait, it's gonna be a little hard to tell, but
no worries.
Oh, it's over here. It's like right there. But I have like, if I were to guess how many I have, I would say maybe about 45 to 50 pairs of ears.
50? Oh, you gotta show that to Arya. Arya has a grip. She has say, not that much, but maybe like 7.
Ton. I have a ton, and I love an exclusive, like I told you. But some I don't have because I could buy them online, but I like to either have somebody get it for me or I get them myself. I just like that feeling.
Yeah, so you can't get them
up there now are Disneyland Paris ears. Like my parents brought that back from Disneyland Paris. I love an exclusive. I have Disney Tokyo ears. I have my first pair of ears I ever got. When you do your Disney internship or any job I think you do at Disney, you get a pair of ears. I still have those. I love collecting ears. So this trip, if I go, it's gonna be a battle of trying to resist not buying too many ears.
They got some cool stuff.
I'll come home with like 4 or 5 pairs, and my mom's like, "You don't need it. Like you don't need it." What I like to do is I like to display it. So right now it's like I have like a princess theme. So it's like a Ariel, Tiana, Aurora, and Cinderella. So I have like a princess theme, but I'll change it based on the season. So I'm like springtime ears, Halloween ears, Marvel ears, red ears. I can do like all one color, like red ears, purple ears,
Oh wow.
New Year's ears. Like I can change them out because that's how many I
Oh,
have.
that's
I used to
crazy.
display them all on my wall, but now I like just change them out based on the season, and it's like a
That's
little like
super cool.
decorative piece.
Oh, those things ain't cheap
Yeah.
either. I can't let Arya listen to
No.
this show right now because she's gonna want to
Well,
do
here's what I
that.
will tell you. I would say about 20 of the years that I have in my possession were heavily discounted.
Oh,
They were heavily discounted, so I got a discount on them. Like when I was at Disney World, there was a like a warehouse that had ears that were damaged, and they were like barely damaged for like $5. So some of them were
oh,
like really, yeah, really discounted, but I love them. And
oh.
whenever I go, I never wear the old ones. I always buy a new one to wear in the park.
Yep,
It's not a good
definitely.
habit to have. Yeah, I always do.
Arya is
And
the
now I
same.
see online that you can write your name on some of the ears now. So I'm like, frick, I gotta do that. Now they
Got
have
to.
like customized ones.
Yeah.
I just
That's
add
a
to my
expensive
problem.
collection. Hey, that's cool though. I
Yeah.
think it's cool.
Yeah, no,
I
but I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep them forever. And when I have a daughter one day, then I she can have them.
yep,
And
guarantee
some of them
she'll.
still have their tags on it. Some of them still have their tags on it. So like in the future, like if she wanted to resell them, she could. What am I gonna do? I'll be dead. So
Should get it appraised. I'm gonna praise the Disney ear collection.
some of these items can resell for like very high value.
Oh yeah.
Not that I'm like a big
Yeah.
collector, but like who knows? Who knows? Maybe in like 30 years, like they discontinue the ears and like now all of the ears that I have in my possession. This is just my like way of justifying how much I hoard.
Yep.
But who knows? Maybe in the future it might happen.
Yeah, just like the pins, the
I just
like
have
so some of those people that are trading pins, they're like, no, that one's worth like $150. I'm like, no, it's not. And then I go on eBay, and I'm like, oh shit, it is.
but
They
at that point, why do you even have it on display? Like if you're not gonna
yeah,
trade it,
it's
just
a
keep it at
flex.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's because of the culture of pin trading at Disney, you should know people are going to ask you to
Yeah.
trade pins if
Yeah.
you're wearing it, right? I mean, but that's what I would do at least. If there's a pin I really didn't want to trade, it would not be on display.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's hilarious. But yeah, they can resell for very high. How did we get into pin trading?
I don't
I
know.
just have my two dogs on my lap right now.
Well,
They're
we've been
like
going
very
for
clingy.
hour and a half. I could probably talk to you
Yes.
for another hour and a half, but I know that you got to get up early.
Yes. And I both like I said, both of my dogs are maybe you can see they're both resting right there.
Oh, they're like, I need some attention.
They're just very clingy. They just love their mother.
That's cool.
Yeah, they just, well, because it's just us, right? So if it was a man in here, apparently they would be cuddling with the man too. So
We'll make that happen. Next time you're on district, I'll have Quan go on the mic and we'll auction you off and
oh Lord.
we'll do a dating show and the winner gets to go out with you.
Do
We'll
you know
weed
that
out.
speed dating is on the
Yeah.
rise by 65%?
Here in Hawaii or just in general?
In general, 65%. There is a speed dating event happening at Magic Island in August.
Are you gonna go?
It's $50. No.
$50. Why not?
That kind of stuff scares me. I'm still a little afraid to like that's why I don't do dating apps because
Oh, well, that's
I'm afraid
scary.
to
That
look
stuff is scary.
I'm afraid to look shame. Like, oh, shame. Shame she on the dating app because she like, oh, can I find a man in real life? No, I can't.
Oh, they had you know what was crazy? I just found this out because Rim Pack was here. Do you know what Rim Pack
Hmm.
is? So Rim Pack is all the sailors come here to do a training or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're all been hitting up these dating apps. And because they're so close to Pearl Harbor, 604 was like the meetup spot for the dating app.
Oh, so they
I
were
just
getting a
found this
lot
out
of
last week. Yeah, so 604 was banging because all these people were trying to hook up with their Tinder links at 604 because it's close to Pearl Harbor.
By the way, 604 has they have great drinks over there. I haven't been in a long time, but they have great drinks. So that's a great meetup spot if there were ever to be a meetup spot. I also saw that I think it was either Club Roxa or Club 939 that they had like welcome Red Pack visitors on their on the outside, like welcoming them in. And whenever somebody says, oh, this is Becky, she's from 939, I'm always like, I always have to tell them like,
not the strip bar. I didn't even thought of that.
Because listen, it's not offensive to me. It's offensive to the girls. I'm like, I don't want men to think that this is what they get at 939. Like, no, it's better quality over there. Don't worry, girls. I got your back.
I don't know. 939. That's funny.
You know who I was just talking to about strip clubs today, not to get too off track, is Hanson. Because Portland, we were talking about Portland because I just got the nighttime show in Portland.
Yeah.
He was telling me about how Portland is like a super vegan city. And I was like, yeah, Portland has a vegan strip club.
What?
I don't exactly know what that means, but I think they serve just like all vegan food.
Who goes to the strip club for food? I'm going to go there because what? I would never go 939 for the food.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
How does Hanson know there's a vegan strip club in Portland?
No, I told him about
Oh, you told. Oh, yeah, you used to live in Portland. That's why.
Yeah. I told him about it because he was saying like, oh, Portland is such a vegan city, and I said, yeah, they have a vegan strip club, and that's when I told him about it. And he said, now we gotta go to Portland.
You're not vegan, are you?
No, but okay. I'm trying to mind gluten dairy free because I have stomach issues. It's been helping, unfortunately.
I tried Hanson's vegan.
Vegan is tough.
Yeah, I tried Hanson's vegan food in Vegas. He ordered it to the room and we ate it. And I took a shit in every club we went to that night because it was not like it was his bachelor party, and I literally shit in every club. And you ever go like in Vegas? There's lines for the toilet, and yeah, ate his freaking vegan food, and I'm in Tao taking a shit. I went to Hakkasan and took a shit. I shit in every club we went to that night.
People are probably like, who the fuck took a shit in this club?
I had to. I ate Hanson's food.
Hakkasan, that's in MGM, right?
Yep, I think so. I can't remember.
Because I was staying in the MGM and I walked by it often. Do you know that Lil Jon and I are friends on TikTok? And I thought about like messaging him and being like, hey, can I come into the club and can we meet? But I chickened out.
Oh, you should have. That would have been cool.
I know. I chickened out. Next time I go to Vegas, fingers crossed, I'll hit up Lil Jon and be like, hey, I know we've never, ever met. And maybe you following me is an accident, but can I meet you because he always does like DJing sets in Vegas.
Yeah. Yep. So when's your next trip? Because you always, other than the one in August, because you always... Every time hopefully I see your 23. Yeah, other than that one, is there any other things you got planned out, like concert or?
No concerts. If Megan Thee Stallion announces a second leg of her tour and she goes to Portland, I'll go to Portland. Especially now that I have the nighttime show, it's going to make it a lot easier for me to like meet her.
That'd be yeah. You'll have the credentials. Yeah.
Yeah. So Megan Thee Stallion, I would go. I thought about going to maybe Phoenix for her, but I was like, I'm gonna wait until hopefully she announces, like, because a lot of artists will announce like the second half of their tour. So I'm hoping she does that, and then I'll go to Portland. But other than that, like nobody is really going on tour that's like I feel like I really gotta go. Like 2022 and 2023 was like just because of post-COVID, everyone went on tour because they were like, oh shit, like we've been like locked up for 2 years. So that was like, that's the reason why I was like traveling so much, because I was like, man, I don't know when I'm going to be able to like see all these artists. No
Yeah.
regrets. I mean, my bank account, sure, regret, but no like physical regrets.
Oh yeah. Didn't she come out with a song with the Japanese dude?
Yes. Wait, I have a story about that. Okay, so Mamushi, it's called Mamushi, and the artist's
Yeah.
name is Yuki Chiba. And when I saw him in like her social media, I was like, wait, he came to the Beat Studios like 2 weeks ago. He was
Oh
in the Beat
really?
Studios like 2 weeks before. Didn't say shit about a Megan the Stallion collab. He
Oh.
came in, he was with Romeo Valentine. He was with another radio personality that used to work here at Taka.
Oh, I know Taka.
And
Yeah.
yeah, who, by the way, I'll say this on record, was not very nice to me. So
Well, he
that's
has
why I
no
wasn't.
he sorry, just like he has noodle arms. That's what we used to tease him. He has no muscle definition in his arms. Sorry. Anyway.
But he's very anyway. So he brought him in, and he was like, "Oh, this is Yuki Chiba. He like sells out arenas in Japan." And I was like on my way out, so I really wasn't like. And also, if he had said, "I'm doing a song with Megan Thee Stallion," I would have like, "Whoa, sit down. Let's do an interview." Like I would have. Not to say he's not
uh,
significant, but for us, for our station, for me, I was like, oh, he didn't say shit. So the 2 weeks later, I saw him come out. I saw that song come out, and I was like, Casey, was that the guy that was in the Beat Studios? He goes, yeah, it was. I was like, why didn't
what
he
the
say anything?
oh.
anyway, anyway, Yuki Chiba was in the studios 2 weeks before the song came out. I love Megan Thee Stallion. To me, she can do no wrong. So
So you
if
like
there's
that
anybody I'll
song?
travel for next, it's not my favorite,
Okay, I hate that
but
song. I think it's
it's very
stupid.
catchy.
Yeah.
Star, star.
Yeah.
It's very catchy, but it's not my favorite song off the album. I think she's done a lot better work, in my opinion. Um, but like, yeah, who else would I see that I would travel to? If Kendrick goes on tour again, Kendrick, I would go. Obviously, Jack Harlow, he's got me wherever he
Yes.
goes. Who else would I see without a doubt? Maybe Beyonce, maybe. I heard she was supposed to do a residency at the Sphere. And that's where
Oh,
I would like,
that would be
that would be
cool.
incredible. That would be
Yeah.
incredible at the Sphere. Um, yeah, that's pretty much like it for now, really. So
Yeah.
yeah, my traveling has slowed down. I also have two dogs now that I have to pay like a dog sitter
Oh
price for.
yeah.
So it's a little more expensive. These dogs
Yeah.
are expensive. I
You
don't have any
gotta
children, but I can imagine it's quite
oh yeah.
expensive if I have these dogs are expensive, these fricklers.
Well, you'll have a dude to help you with expenses once you have a kid.
Here's hoping. I want children. I do. But I just want to be so sure that it's with someone who's going to support me and like, that I get the right support system behind me, that's when I'll have a child.
It'll happen,
Not
I think, for
not to
sure.
not to say that being a single mom is bad. In fact, my mom was like, if you want to have a kid, she goes, I'll help you. I was like, no. I was like, no, 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 no. Not that being a single mom is bad at all. It's just I know who I am. I'm gonna struggle. I'm going to struggle. So it has to be with somebody that I can like I can like be able I know I am, I'm gonna struggle. I already yell at these dogs. Can you imagine me with a child? I'm gonna need someone to like
Balance
balance
you
me
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a
But
single
yeah.
dad. I mean, before Sasha, it was just me and Aria forever. And
Mm-hmm.
it was good because she's not naughty. So yeah, you'll
Yeah.
figure it out. Because when it comes to that, failure's not an option. So
Mm-hmm.
once you have that mindset, then instead of things not working, you figure out how to make it work and
Totally.
problem solve. And yeah, it's it's super cool. Like I think you'd be a great mom. I think yeah,
Oh, I would love to have
yeah,
children.
you'd
I
be
really
so
would,
much
but
fun. Your kids would be so like they would have a fun childhood, that's for sure.
it helps a lot that my parents are very supportive. Like they're like, you'll make the best mom on your own time. They're like, we know you'll make the best mom. Because I always tell my parents, I'm like, are you guys worried that I'm not having kids? I'm gonna be 30 next year. And I was like, are you guys worried that I'm not having kids and I'm not like looking to get married and like not settling down, they were both like, no, not at all. They're like, do
Yeah.
everything at your own pace. Like, you know, you've been so career oriented. Like that's always been your passion. And when you'll find it, you will. It's
Yep.
very helpful because like I know a lot of parents out there. I do a lot of weddings where they get married and all the parents are on the microphone, like, okay, now time to have kids. And I'm like, oh,
Jeez, can
that's
we
a lot
just
of
enjoy
pressure.
this?
I
You
know.
do a lot of weddings. I always ask this, like, because I have a lot of friends and family in the wedding industry. Do you
Mhm.
know during the wedding, like, oh, this ain't gonna make it. This one's not gonna
Yes.
take.
Yes.
You do?
Yes. 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 Yes.
That's funny.
I did a wedding once. And not that I didn't think they're gonna make it, but I knew it was going to be weird. Is I did a wedding once. I don't know if I told you this, where they never kissed ever.
That's weird.
They were saving it for the altar. They they had never kissed before. Can you imagine never kissing and getting married and you have to have your first kiss in front of your family and friends? How
What?
awkward that would be.
That is super weird.
And they weren't really religious. They weren't like super religious, like everything by the book. They were pretty like laid back for the most part.
Oh,
Never kissed.
did that one take or they're done?
They're still married from what I
Oh, okay.
understand. But I knew doing it, I was like, oh, this is like weird. I just knew it was like weird. Like they're gonna have a really weird first night. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you know
That
why? Because they've never been physical with one another. So you can feel like the tension of never being physical as a couple. Like you can tell a couple has not really been physical with themselves. Like you can see the
yeah.
tension, you know what I mean? Like you
But
can
not at the
tell.
wedding, right? You're not.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Never kiss. They kiss
Speaking
at the
of
altar.
test driving a car, you got to do that before.
Exactly.
That's
God, you could
crazy.
be back. Yeah, like it could be like they could not connect physically. They could. They could get into the bedroom and, do what married couples do, and it could be horrible. And they wouldn't have known. And too late, they're married.
Yeah, yeah, that would be horrible. That's why you got to test drive some cars and then you figure it out.
Yeah, that's so scary to
Yeah.
me. That's so scary. Like, oh God, what if you're
The
awful?
guy,
I'm stuck with you for the rest of my life.
yeah, what if like the girl's a starfish and you're just like, oh
She
fuck,
could
like
be.
just
She could be.
oh
You have to know. You have to
yes,
know. So anyway,
yes,
that's one wedding that I did where I was like, whoa.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. But to
My
me, I don't care.
sister
Whether
would
you make would what?
my
She would
my
get
sis my sister's a wedding planner and she
oh,
would
okay.
know like, oh, this one's not gonna this one's not gonna take because she got to deal
Oh
with
yeah, you
them the
can
whole
tell.
time prior. So they're
Hmm.
fighting or arguing about the wedding. She's like, this one's not good. Maybe you guys don't get married. I don't know.
Well, for me, I don't care if you guys get through it or not. All I care about is if I get
Yeah, just pay me for my stuff. I'm out. You're on
yeah,
your
I
own
was like
after tonight.
yeah. I was like, whether you make it or not, I'm like, I got nothing to do with me. Like
Yeah. I'll
I
give
was
you the best
MC your
party.
wedding.
Yeah, I'll give you the
Yeah,
best party the night of, and I'm out. Oh, you're on your
yeah,
own.
exactly. Exactly. And I was like, I don't care what happens after this. But yeah, that was one that really stuck out where like they never kiss. And I was like, that is just going to be a very weird start to your marriage,
That's
in my
crazy.
opinion. Now, in her, from her perspective, this is what she wanted. So it's not weird to her. But to people like you and
What were
I,
their nationalities?
she was Hapa. She was like Filipino white, and he was
Oh,
white, military.
oh, maybe she
Yeah,
was
and she
like
was a local girl.
was she a girl? Like
Oh, she was a
that,
girl for sure.
that's like something one like a transgender person would try to pull over. Oh, I don't want to kiss or get physical. And then the night of we're married is too fucking late now. I have a ding ding. Right? That's sketch. I would fucking yeah.
I never even thought of that. No, she was definitely a girl. I
Oh,
can I can
okay.
I can attest to that. She was definitely a girl.
All right. Now, if I was the groom, I would have been like, no, we're gotta Come
We
on.
gotta at least like peek behind
Yeah.
like the curtain.
That's crazy. I would never
No,
go
she was
for that.
definitely a girl. Although I have done a transgender wedding before,
But
and
they
that's
knew.
like a yes, yes, yeah. It was very like, and I was very glad that they had picked me because like I know how um tough it might be to find like an because I was an officiant and how difficult it must be to find like an officiant that isn't religious, you know what I mean, that wouldn't like,
Yeah.
you know, that wouldn't judge because
Yeah.
that wedding that I officiated with the transgender, it wasn't a transgender couple but it was a transgender man, was a wedding I have seen the most amount of genuine love I think ever in a wedding setting.
Yep.
They really loved each other and they really wanted to get married. They were crying and it was like they were speaking from the heart. I was like, oh my God,
That's
y'all love each other.
that's why they should it shouldn't be like a thing. Everybody should that's
Oh
why
yeah.
it's cool that they can get married because some of them love each other more than a regular man and wife. So why
Oh
wouldn't you
yeah.
celebrate that? Yeah.
They were so in love. They were so genuinely like, I was like, I told them that. I was like, I've done a lot of weddings before. I was like, your ceremony is some of the most genuine love, if not the most genuine love I have seen between two people. So I was
That's
like, you
super
know,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it was really great. It was really, really great. But yeah, that's the one that stands out the most is the one where they never kissed.
That's
Because I could
insane.
never. But
Yeah.
they're still married, from what I understand, they're still married.
Because they just got to second base. That's why they waited that long to kiss. They're still trying to figure out what to do. I don't know.
It's been
That's
about, I would say it's been about a year, maybe a year and a half. So yeah,
so
they're still
rounding
going from what
second
I
base.
yeah. I wish them a happy marriage. I wish all of them a happy marriage, even though I said I don't really care. I do. I'm a big like lover girl. I love love. I'm a relationship girl all the way through. I do like a lot of romantic things, and I just never get the opportunity, so it all goes to waste.
You will. I have faith. I got faith.
Or it goes to my dogs, or I get something nice for my dogs. I'm like, oh, you want a little
Yeah,
treat? You want a little sweet
they're probably
treat?
the most spoiled dogs in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are
Dude,
you
my
still
the amount of
go ahead?
go ahead. Oh, I was
Uh,
saying the amount of money that I spend on these girls are like insane. Insane. She costs so much money. Not just to like get her, but to upkeep her, vet bills,
oh
food.
yeah.
They have certain supplements in their food. Like these dogs are so expensive. What were you saying before that? Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you, do you still do the crystal thing?
Yes. Um, I don't have any that I'm wearing right now, but I just got a one of my dog sitters or one of my dog walkers gave me this like bowl that was like in the shape of a wiener dog. It was a very cute gift that she left, and now I put all my crystals in it. I think we cut off.
Nope, you still there?
Hello? Oh,
Hello.
I think we cut off for a little bit. Okay, you froze a little.
Oh, okay, we're
Do you
good.
see me now?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good. Yeah, so the most recent crystal I got, which is funny, we're talking about love, is a rose quartz apple. So it's a rose quartz in the shape of an apple, like they like, you know what I mean? Like they cut it up into a shape of an apple. And
yeah.
apparently that's supposed to help me find love.
You gotta wear it,
It's yeah, I guess so. I wear rose quartz all the time. This one that I wear is a rose quartz.
but it's not an apple.
And it's supposed no, it's not an apple. I also have on this hand, I have green. It's green adventuring. This one's for luck. And then I also have like a hand chain that has an evil eye that's supposed to help ward off negative spirits. Ramsey, what the hell are you making all this noise for? Yeah, so I still do the crystal stuff. I haven't bought in a while just because budgeting, because it is an
Yeah.
extracurricular activity. Um, what the hell is going on, Ramsey? Sorry. It's an extracurricular activity. However, I still wear them every day. I tend to like, I tend to wear the same ones, which is carnelian. That's supposed to help with confidence and it's supposed to help like attract people to your confident energy. I wear a black tourmaline, which is supposed to help ward off negative energy. And that's kind of like my two most common ones that I wear the most often, is like for confidence and to ward off negative energy, because I'm just constantly surrounded by it, I guess.
Oh yeah. Well, in the
Yeah, so
business you're
those are like
in,
my
it's
two.
probably both. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, one that I wear often too is supposed to be for focus. It's called a blue, I think it's called blue apple. I might be mispronouncing that. That's supposed to help me with focus and focusing on my show. Because
Oh,
I'm
okay.
doing like multiple things. I'm doing like my show, I'm prepping, I'm reading this article, opening up that article, cutting a commercial. Sometimes I'm on the air in Sacramento at the same time I am on the beat. So like I'm like balancing that.
Oh wow.
Sometimes there's a lot
I should
going on.
send you
Yeah.
some of this. Lion's mane.
What's that?
It's
Oh, I
mushroom.
hear good things about lion's
Yeah.
mane.
So my sponsor is Med Mushroom Hawaii. They're a medical mushroom company based in Hawaii, and yeah, they give me these things. It's tincture. All you do is you it's like a drop, so you can put in your coffee or you drip in your under your tongue. And this help. I take this before I record every time, but I take this in the morning, and they have like certain medicinal properties. But this one is red reishi, and this one is good for sleep. And since I've been taking this,
Oh.
I sleep like a champ. Like I've been sleeping
Oh.
super good. So I yeah, the lion's mane would be perfect for what you do because it helps focus. And it's a
Yeah, I was gonna
neurological
say
one. Yeah.
I hear good things about lion's mane. I've heard about that before.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you
yeah,
a
that would be
bottle.
perfect
I'll
for
give you
me.
a bottle for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That'll
I
be
can put it in
cool.
my coffee. Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Just
this morning
yeah.
I had like a different roast. Like I drink cold brew in the morning and I had a different roast. I had an espresso roast. Holy shit. I like turned my head and my head didn't catch. You ever have that feeling like my head didn't catch up with like my body? I don't
Like
know what happened,
vertigo.
but I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I had like an out of body experience and I was like, whoa. And I was like, it was on the air too, and I was like, oh, I gotta sign off. I was like, I thought I was gonna pass out. I was like, oh.
Too
Anyway,
much
don't drink the
caffeine.
espresso roast
Yeah.
because you will start to feel that way. It was too much caffeine, yeah. So now I like try to balance it out with water, and then I also drink a lemon ginger tea in the morning for my voice.
Okay. That's smart. I
Yeah,
have
which I
a
also recommend. So I could.
Nespresso machine. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I drink that on my way to work while listening to you every morning. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you always for being so supportive of my career
Of
and my
course.
videos too. Thank you for commenting too.
Oh yeah. You have good stuff. The one on the train was good. The rail.
The rail one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one was
Every
funny.
now and then I have a good. Every now and then I have a good idea, but
Yeah. And
every now and then.
what's cool is you're not afraid to embarrass yourself or be silly or who shot that? I know you didn't do that by yourself, right? The one on the
Um,
tram. The
the girl who runs the account for Zippies shot it.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, she
good.
was because she was. We were there to promote the Holo Holo card,
Yeah.
which they had at Zippies, and she was there to promote it, so she shot it, and she shot the certain shots, and it was a lot of fun. That was fun to shoot, but I didn't get in trouble for it, but I definitely did get like, oh, by the way, that's not true. You can't use the bathrooms at the rail station. They're gonna tell you no, and I was like, oops, sorry, that's not what they told me.
That's
Oh, you're
funny.
misspreading information, but yeah, that was one of my good ones. That's one people really like. They really like the one I made fun of my dad. There was one
Hmm.
I did where I was like looking for Jason Momoa. That was another good one. I tend to
Oh
have some
yeah.
every now and then, like every like 2 to 3 months, I have a good idea. And then
That's
I go
cool.
back to 2 to 3 months of no posting.
That means you're selective with yeah, you're creating for when it's special. It's not like you're just putting content out there for no reason. Like most of us.
No, it's hard. It's hard for me to post often. I post when I
Yeah.
feel like I have something to say, and then I go off.
I've
You
been
know who
having
posts a
fun.
lot?
Who's that? Taylor.
Taylor. Taylor.
Yeah.
Taylor.
You
I'm
ever
like,
with him?
oh
Like
my
ever stop by
god.
in the middle of anything we're doing? Like, oh, you can take a picture or you can take this video. And it's funny because like you're videoing him and he's talking like to his fans. It's like, this is weird. But he built his brand doing that, and that's his
He did.
thing.
He
And
grew. He
yeah,
grew his audience. He knew what he
yeah,
was doing, and he grew his audience. So
yeah,
he was successful. It's not to say that posting a lot doesn't give you success. Clearly, it
yeah,
does. But he is just someone that posts often, like
yeah.
his workouts and.
Yeah, every little thing. Like at least he doesn't post his food, like when he eats dinners. Oh, I guess he does.
He does. He
Sasha does
posts
that. She's like, "Can I take a
everything.
picture?" I'm like, "Nobody gives a fuck what you're eating right now." I'm trying to eat. It's gonna be cold. Like, no, it's not good. It's like, oh, and like that's my food. You cannot claim my food on your story, pretending it's yours. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm guilty of that too. Only because I'm a food girl and I really like to
oh,
eat. So yeah.
I like to eat. I don't like to take pictures of it. Yeah,
I made
I don't think I ever do unless it's something really cool.
at your party, I made some mac and cheese, which is my
Oh,
specialty.
that was good. I had that.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's
The
really good. I'm
next
glad
day.
that
I
you
had that
enjoyed
the
it.
next day. Yeah.
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 Once you got over it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was, yeah. We'll do it
But yeah,
again
yeah.
this
I
year
also
when
like mac
their
and cheese.
Niners are in it again. Or you should just come when we do
Yes.
a regular game when it's just
Yeah.
fun and there's nothing
Are
on
you
the
excited
line.
to this is my last question because we've been chatting a lot and my headphones
Yeah.
are gonna die. But have you have you have you been excited about the Olympics?
Um I used to be when I was doing taekwondo because taekwondo is an Olympic sport. I used to get excited. I
Mm,
like I'll watch it. I'm not really hyped on it. I'm kind of a little bit more because of volleyball, so Arya can see the
mhm.
women's, but I
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh yeah, the Olympics. I'll definitely probably
I don't
watch
know
every
why,
single
but
day. Yeah.
this year, more than any time before, I'm so excited.
For what
I don't know what it
events?
is about this year. Well, team basketball, first of all,
Oh
Team
yeah.
USA basketball, because it's like basically like watching an all-star game because they just
Yeah.
put the best of the best players on it. Well, do you know the story behind why that team is so stacked?
Why?
Okay, so there's a track and field um athlete. His name is Noah Lyles. He's in the Olympics this year. And he did an interview where he said, I am tired of seeing the NBA champions calling themselves world champions. You are not world champions, you're
Oh,
NBA champions.
I saw that video. Yeah.
So after he said
Oh,
that, all these players were like, fuck you, we're going to play in the Olympics and
and
we're
we're
going
gonna
to
be
be
world
world
champions.
champions. I
We
just was like,
started a movement. I did see
I'm
that
so
video.
grateful.
I did see
Yeah,
that
I'm
video.
so
Yeah,
grateful he said that because now the freaking team is stacked and
the
I'm so
dream
excited
team.
to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool.
So I'm so excited. Yeah. So I just saw a video where they called LeBron the Old Testament.
Oh, I'm over that guy. I am not a fan of that guy at all. Yeah,
Yeah. You know, a lot of people are. You either really love him or you really hate him. I never
yeah,
meet somebody who's in between. I never
yeah.
do. But anyway,
I
yeah, that is. I'll leave you with that about the
all
Olympics.
right. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. This is the longest podcast ever did.
You said that the last time too, and I was like,
I
shit,
know.
maybe I made it even longer.
This
My
is
fault.
perfect.
I don't know what parts of
Yours had like one of the most downloads. You
I
and
have no idea
Auntie
why.
Brandy.
Oh, you know
Yeah.
why? Maybe because we're radio personalities and like they're like, oh, I get to hear them out of their
Yeah.
element or stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think
Maybe,
so. I
yeah.
think yeah, plus you guys are very personable. So it's cool to chat with.
She's the
What
best. I love her.
yeah, she's super
She's the
cool.
best.
All
Yeah.
right, so where can people find you on Instagram if they want to check out your
Oh,
videos or send you a DM to get a date?
oh, don't do that. Becky Mits, if you want to watch my content and
Yeah.
see pretty much only selfies because nobody else is there to take pictures. But every now and then I post a really good video that's very funny. You can also listen to my show every morning, 6 to 10 a.m. on 93.9 The Beat. If K-pop is more your style, Pop 101.9, 12 to 6 p.m. every weekday as well.
Right
Yes.
on. And as always, for us, our Instagram is Above the Bridge Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Above the Bridge Podcast. My website is atbpod.com, and my personal Instagram is Daddy Daddy Hi. I appreciate you. I've got close with you. I think you're
Yes.
an awesome person, and you got to come drink with us at District soon. And or maybe one
Yes.
night we'll go to Mai Tais on a Saturday so we can see Taylor play and just
Yeah.
chill. Yeah, and I won't be working.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And maybe Sasha will be
Perfect.
off or something. That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, I would love for
That would
you
be
guys and we could, yeah, have an outing like that. And you're always, I'm going to say this on the record on camera. Are you still recording?
yes.
You're a great friend to have because you're so supportive of your friends. And when that transition happened where I had to go solo, you were sending me the nicest messages and you were so supportive. I mean, you were supportive when I was on the show and you would like be answering questions of the day, but you were so supportive when I was going through that transition. And I was so grateful to have your support. And I mean, it means a lot. You're a great person in general, but you, more importantly to me, you're a great friend. You're very supportive and you're always talking about like, even like when we're talking about Taylor and Hoppa Boy, you're like so supportive of his career and his dreams. You're supportive of my career and my dreams and things that I wanted to do. And you're like, it's going to be a risk and things like that, but you have to go for it. Your support is unmatched. And I hope that we get to be friends for much longer.
For sure. Because I like when my friends bet on themselves and risk it all and shoot for the stars. That inspires me, and it's my people doing it. So it's like, oh, if I can, like, I speak from the heart. So when people are doing that, that's the real Thaddeus. You guys are doing cool shit. Like Hoppa, I told him at his brother's graduation, as proud as you are for your brother today, watching him graduate, that's how proud I am of you because he's my little brother. That's how proud I am of
Yeah.
you with everything that you're doing. And there's there's few people in my life that inspire me. And then when I see them bet on themselves and shoot for the stars and fuck it, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna try my hardest and I'm gonna like I back that. If that's my friends, oh yup, that's what I'm about. Like I
You know
just
why? Because in this world, this is normal behavior, but people tend to be jealous of other people and they're not
yeah
conscious of it. They're not aware that they're jealous. So, like, the way that they show it is they're not that supportive. You know what I mean? Or they don't say anything at all, or they just kind of come off as being a little bit jealous. But for you, you're like nothing but supportive. There's not
yeah
an ounce of any kind of jealousy. You're just like, I like support you and your dreams. And I think that also probably is what makes you a good dad too. I can only imagine you're just as supportive to Arya as you are to your friends.
yep,
At least I would hope
definitely.
you are.
Yeah, too much, I think. It drives me nuts. I gotta, yeah. But yeah, I'm super proud of you. I think what you're doing and how you've started and where you are now is, like I said, you just starting. This isn't your cap. You got miles to go. You
I hope
resonate
so.
with
I got big
people. Yeah,
dreams. I got big
that's why.
ambitions.
Fuck yeah, and hit them all. Because a dream that is not backed up by work or effort is just nothing. It becomes nothing. And
That's so
you,
true. That's so true.
you roll the dice.
Yeah.
I know you rolled the dice in an opportunity, didn't work out, and you bounced back, got this opportunity to have your own show, and everything you're doing is gradually taking you to your dream, whatever it may be. And
As long as I stay in my path, and as long as I stay in my path and I work hard and I do what is best for me, whatever I'm supposed to have will happen.
yep,
If I don't do any of the work and I just go, why aren't things happening for me? Then of course they're not going to happen. So as long as I remain truthful in what I'm doing, I'm so confident in that. As long as I remain truthful in what I'm doing and I do my best at it, whatever it's supposed to happen will happen.
and you
I'm
back it
meant to
up
be
with your
wherever it
yep,
is.
and you back it up
Yeah.
with work ethic, and
Yeah.
that's what matters the most. Because if
At
you
least I
don't,
try.
yeah, and I've been telling Arya this. with her volleyball. Is like, you're not doing extra work, no cry if you don't make the team. So if you do the extra work, then you have a better chance on hitting your dream. But if you don't, you won't ever feel like you didn't give it 100. So, I mean,
Yes.
yeah,
At the very least, if you try and you give 100%, you can at least say that. If you
yeah,
don't, then you'll always regret not trying and giving your 100%,
yep.
right? And you don't want to do that. Yeah. What a
All
great
right.
word to leave us by.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you soon, and I appreciate you, and we'll do this again next year because this is too much fun.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
now we're
shakas for the
friends after the first
cameras.
one. Now, after the first, wait, is this too strong? Okay.
All right. We're out.
Perfect.
Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.